Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Data Sim live stream. Today it is the 1st of February 2022, 4 minutes past 6 in the evening in the United Kingdom. We're in XP11 and we are back in the Flight Factor 757. I've bought the extended pack version, so we're going in the ultimate flying pencil variant today, the 757-300. We are flying from Frankfurt in Germany. Here we are, 9 hours behind live time because I downloaded all the lovely Ortho for the Alps, and we are going for the first ever time as we tick off every European country in the Flight Data Sim Atlas. Let me get this right: Bosnia and Herzegovina. I've already screwed that up. We go to Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Flight time about 1 hour 20 minutes. And the whole idea behind this stream is to sort of see the brand new VATSIM Velocity. Now, I was thinking of going from lots of other different airports. Yesterday we were streaming as well, discussed Zurich, Berlin, and Bergen, but I've done those airports quite a bit, and I thought, you know what, there's actually ATC here in Sarajevo. One of the mods suggested going there, and I thought, you know, I've never been there before, so let's go there from Frankfurt. Frankfurt's always busy on VATSIM. I'm glad to see there's a lot of people here as well, so we'll hopefully be able to see some smooth actions with all the aircraft on VATSIM Velocity. I've just updated the latest beta version, literally just before the stream as well, which fixed some very minor bugs as well, but from what I've seen, it looks a much improved version of the previous version of how VATSIM depicted traffic. Still a few little issues I see. Sometimes the aircraft are bobbing up and down, but otherwise very, very good. The aircraft are looking very, very smooth indeed. We'll have a look at some aircraft before we crack on as well. Otherwise, we'll zoom on in towards our aircraft and let's see who we have in the stream today. Here we go. Ben Matthews, the original music to zoom in on it. Absolutely. Fly with you today, boss, in Alpaca 47 Alpha Tiger. Thank you very much, Aaron. Dennis is here as well. He goes exclamation mark livery. Nightbot should be here any second. Hello, Joe. Just chatting to you as well. I'll get back to you tomorrow. DM you as soon as the stream's over. I hope you're doing well. Rohit, just happy to see you live. Thank you very much. X11 Simulation says good day. Hope you're doing well. Rohit's here. Taylor 31425. Paul Everson, hello to you, sir. Jason Borum and Liam Barwick, Francois Jubier, Ruben Leroy's here as well. We have John Panfield, and the best for now says hi all. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hello, Decadius2 and Captain Britannia. Travel Ramses has just come in as well. There we are. So you can see it's quite busy here. You'll notice a bit of noise. That is because with the beta version of Xpilot you can actually have external audio with other aircraft, so you can actually disable it if you want. It's a bit basic, but basically as you move around aeroplanes it sounds like they're going past here. So you can see that there's a little Lufthansa. You see, look, it's got a slight floating nose wheel, but have we actually got any aircraft moving so we can actually see the movement? I think literally everyone here is on their stand waiting to go, but we'll observe as we taxi out. Lots of other aircraft moving around, so you can have a little look of what's going on. Anyway, here is the Flight Factor 757-300, the first ever time we've flown this variant. Absolutely crazy. Let me just turn down this noise here with all the other aircraft on Xpilot. Oh, I've just realised I need to control it in the plug-in here. Pro streamer here, because it's a little bit loud. Let's just turn that down. There we are. I'll just put it down at 8%, otherwise you won't hear me talking. But yeah, here it is, the pencil. It just looks so bizarre. I mean, if I come from this angle, the proportions just seem all wrong. I've seen one before in Tenerife. I remember it was a Condor 757-300. I remember looking at that and thinking, who made that aeroplane? It's like they've just basically made it a little bit, they just made the fuselage longer. The wings don't look like it would support it, but it's not the most common variant. I think the 200 is the most common, but yeah, it looks really, really cool. We're going to take a full load of passengers today, which is 226 passengers, and it does suit the Alpaca Airways livery very nicely. We've got the 2 air bridges attached all ready for boarding, so looking good. I would laugh if your X-Plate crashes again. Thanks, Ollie Blocks Gamer. Love you too. But yeah, if you look from here, looking down, it just looks... It should stop here, not there. I don't know how much longer it is than the 200, but yeah, it's exciting to fly. And on top of that, look, we're going to zoom on into the cockpit that way. I've got the screen upgrade installed as well. It's something I actually upgraded to a couple of years ago with the Flight Factor 757, but it was actually a bit of an FPS hog on my own PC, my old PC, but on the new one it seems to be all working fine. So it does look really cool. Did a test sector earlier, all seemed to be working well. I had a few issues with VNAV, but we'll always revert to what I know, which is the 737. The beauty of this aircraft is, I set it up exactly as I would do the 737. There's very little difference between the two. So I literally just installed it last night, did a test sector this morning, and I was like, oh yeah, all looks familiar to me, which is pretty cool. 757 long neck, said Listerman. Yeah, it's pretty much, that's it. Cool. Oh, forgot to say as well, of course, because we're in a Boeing today, ta-da, we have yoke cam. I'm not in any striped attire. I'm wearing a black hoodie today, which is, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you had a stripy one last time, but yeah, I gone for a black hoodie today. And it does handle really nicely, the flight factor 757. It feels like a 7.3. The flight controls all very responsive, like in the Zemo mod, which is pretty cool. So we'll do some manual handling on departure and takeoff. Weather in Sarajevo, a little bit of snow around. Hopefully the visibility will be good enough to get in there, but we'll be having a look at the weather on the way there. David, your unemployment altitude in this bird is 9.5 degrees. Not sure what that means. Pencil cam. Oh yeah, we should get some pencils out as well. It is literally the pencil cam today. Excellent. Right, let's get the show on the road. So we're completely cold and dark. Let's get some electrical power. Batteries on. We'll put the standby power to auto, and then we'll connect the external power and the buses. There we are. So we should have some power coming in. I can hear it making some noises, which is good. We'll shut the battery guard as well. And the sort of way I set this aircraft up, because of course I'm familiar with the 737, is just to do a sort of panel scan, starting on the top, working our way down to the MCP, then the flight management computer as well. With my operator, we're sort of up, down, left and right as we process and get everything set up as per our operator's SOPs, but I sort of do it this way because it's a bit logical, and you know, I won't hopefully miss anything in that way. Yeah, tail strike angle, got you, David. Is that the tail strike angle in the 757-300? Got you, David. Your unemployed attitude in this bed is 9.5 degrees. That's really low. In the 7.3, a little higher, you know, 10 to 12 degrees or so, depending on your flap setting. But everyone's been talking about that British Airways A321, I think it was. I think they struck the tail on that go around. That was they were very unlucky there. It's a bit challenging in those conditions, but we'll discuss that in length later about some of the things we do in the 737 to avoid that from happening. Cool, so battery on, GPU I think is all on the bus. Let's just work our way here left to right. So I'll put the RS to nav. Yaw dampers are coming on. Engine control switches go to normal. I'll pop on all the electric hydraulic pumps and all the hydraulic pumps at this stage. I feel like I've missed something. It seems very quiet. Maybe the utility buses? No. Hopefully I've not missed anything, but we'll put generators on the bus. It's a bit more modern than the NG, so it automatically switches buses for you as soon as the engines are running, which is pretty cool. Oh no, don't push those. That's the IDG disconnect switches. AP we don't need at this stage. We'll put, I don't think I know why it's got this turned down. There we go. I'm wondering why it was so quiet. Emergency exit light speaker arm. Engine limiters will turn on. Engine start. We'll just leave that on the number one igniter. Fuel pumps are on. We've pre-fueled already. We'll show you how much fuel I've got in a second. Wing and engine anti-ice off at this stage. Wipers are off. We'll want the position lights on. I think that's not the strobe lights. That's just your nav lights. Yeah, the red and green lights just there. So you can see, look, that's our first ever velocity movement. So this aircraft is pushing back on VATSIM, and as opposed to the older version of VATSIM where I think the aircraft movement updates every 5 seconds, it's now doing it 5 times a second, so you know, 25 times quicker essentially. And you can see, look, there's a Lufthansa taxiing or entering the runway there. Look, you can just see the movement is a lot more natural, a lot smoother. You'll see as this aircraft lands hopefully as well. You can see it as it accelerates. It doesn't accelerate in a sort of jagged fashion. Audio now as well. Excuse my basic CSL as well. But yeah, you can see that the movement a lot smoother as the Lufthansa takes off actually. We'll just watch him rotate so you can see what it looks like. So you can see, look, you can see him making the rudder inputs in, and it's just moving across the runway, and it's much smoother. It's really cool. Velocity is now available, yes. See him rotate. There he goes. Yeah, it's so much better than the old one. Look at him go. It's just amazing. It's just that is someone else sat on his PC doing the same thing. Very cool. What we got here? A340. Should we watch the A340 land? We'll have a look at this. Nah, I'll carry on with the setup. You'll have lots of opportunity to watch aircraft landing, which is pretty cool. Excellent. Let's now turn that down. Disconnect it. No, I'm not going with one IDG. I want both my IDGs. I haven't got the QRH or the MEL for the 757. You can dispatch with one IDG in the NG. You just have to have the APU running for the entire flight. Anyway, window heat is on. The seatbelt signs and no smoking signs we can turn on. We've got to make sure that little rate is set to a needle. Don't forget to put the pressurization mode selector to auto. It defaults to manual, which is a bit dangerous. Oh, watching his landing. I think the majority of you want to watch the landing, which is fine by me. We are a democratic channel here. There we are. So, actually, it's an A340. Ooh, lots of... I don't think he's in the A300, isn't he? Actually, a bit of a crosswind here, so we should be able to see, as he lands on 2.5 left, the crab angle here. Oh, that's actually a wicked shot of VATSIM promo. Matthew's saying that MEL and IDG APU on absolutely the same as ours. Kieran, best thing VATSIM have done with the audio update is just brilliant. Yeah, the audio update's great, and hopefully in time they'll have a little bit more of a sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? What do you call it when a sound and the sound... Oh my god, sometimes my mind goes blank. As a sound travels past you, you get that effect. It was discovered years ago on a train. Doppler sound effect will be cool. Ooh, that's a bit of a high flare, unless he's on a different simulator. There we go. He's landing a bit flat. There we are, it looks like he's down. Yeah, oh dear. Doppler, thanks guys. I got there eventually. Yeah, hopefully. Well, I mean, there was a bit of a Doppler effect there. But yeah, you gotta refine it. Cool. Let's carry on then with the rest of the setup. So, we're up here. DJ, look, all these music coming off and on. Right, window heat, pressurization system set. The elevation in Sarajevo is 1,700 feet. So we'll set that to 1,700. We'll put the flight deck temperatures to auto. Trim air's on, recircs on, AP bleeds off at the moment, but we'll put the packs in auto. We'll open the isolation valve, engine bleed on. That's all ready. The overhead panel's pretty much set up for departure. So, flight directors, will pop them on at this stage as well. I think the stop attitude on the SID we're expecting, the Cindy 2 Foxtrot, will be 5,000 feet, so we'll set that to 5,100. Runway QDM in Frankfurt for runway, it'll be either 25 left or 25 centre for departure. It'll be 248 degrees. It could also be runway 18 for departure as well, so we'll get our clearance first before we start loading anything up in the FMC. So that's all set. We'll put that to auto, reset the master caution for now. Auto brake to RTO, and fault fire test, I think they're down here. There we are, so that's the fire test all completed. How do I turn it off? I think that's it. Wheel well fire. Why is that still... There we go. That's all done as well, so is it doing it now? So, something Flight Factor have done in a recent update, I don't like it. I see what they're trying to do here. It's quite cool. Notice if I move forward, the seat moves forward. Really cool, but it sort of affects the camera view sometimes. It isn't at the moment, but I was flying into Sarajevo earlier, and whilst it was in this view here, I switched to this view, and it's sort of like it jammed the camera because it thought I was still stuck in the seat. So I don't know if there's a way of disabling it, but hopefully there'll be changing it, because you'll see it. Hopefully it won't happen, but I was in some other views, and because of the chair was moving in the cockpit, I was unable to move the camera around. It was a bit of a pain, but hopefully that will be able to be disabled, or you can reset it at some point. Cool, so power's done. Let's grab our clearance now as well. So what have we got here? We only have tower online. He's going to be extremely busy. Tower and approach, there's no ground. How many departures has he got to deal with, I wonder? Let's have a listen in. Actually hear anyone on the frequency at the moment. Definitely got the right frequency. Tower, and there's only centre and approach. Well, I'll try and grab my clearance now whilst I can. I'm definitely connected. Yep. Oh, that's the parking brake button. Oh, I keep forgetting the wrong button there. There we are. Frankfurt Tower, hello, it's Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. I know why I can't hear anyone, because it's... got to pull that.
That's Alpaca 7531. 531,
I was wondering why it was so quiet, but yeah, there's the, you got to remember to pull the,
Jet 598, correct.
oh, that just, yeah, unfortunately I can't actually control the volume with that, it's not modelled, so I'll have to use Windows. So I might have just stepped on someone there. Hi, Sam, your butler.
Oscar Bravo November Lima, wind 200 degrees 1 for knots, runway 25 left, clear to land. Runway 25 left, clear to land, Oscar Bravo. Also 2 Mike Fox, willkommen in Frankfurt, right on Mike, Tango hold short, Tango 4.
It's definitely
Right
just
on Mike, Tango hold short, Tango 4, November 2 Mike Fox short. Force 1629, you're taxiing the wrong direction. Continue
so
taxi.
this guy's got to do clearance, ground tower, landing clearances, takeoff clearances for one of the largest international airports in Germany.
Copy, continue taxi, Yankee 1, Yankee Lima,
How's he going to manage that?
26.
Some of them are like gods though.
Force 1629, gate Echo 6.
This 757 is better than the A321, absolutely.
After Lima.
But just as likely to tail strike.
Alpaca 72, ascent Victor 172, requesting engine startup.
Alpaca 782, you're already clear for startup.
Cleared for startup. Alpaca 72 will call for taxi.
Alpaca 14 Mike Juliet, request pushback.
Busy. I want to just get my clearance in, guys, just so I can know what sit I'm going to get.
14 Mike Juliet, pushback approved. Push approved, Alpaca 14 Mike Juliet.
Tower, good day, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, stand Bravo 25, departure clearance to Sarajevo, please, 753.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, number 3 for clearance.
Roger. Perfect, this guy,
Alpaca 47 Alpha
how
Tango.
he's doing it, I have no idea.
Current
So,
approved, cleared Sarajevo, Cindy 4 Sierra, flight plan.
so he got cleared on Cindy 4 Sierra,
Action squawk 2051.
which is runway 18 for departure.
Frankfurt Tower, can you please repeat that? I caught 4 Charlie and 4000, that's all I caught.
So, we are in Frankfurt.
First Oscar Bravo November Lima, willkommen in Frankfurt. Continue
So yeah, differences between the 73 and GPS positions here. And we're going to Sarajevo, which
Alpaca
is
47 Alpha Tango information travel current approved,
Lima,
cleared
Quebec, Sierra.
Sarajevo, Cindy 4 Sierra, flight plan route climb via SID 4000 feet, squawk 2051.
Call sign is
Actually,
Alpaca
Sarajevo
75
via
Sierra Alpha.
Cindy 4 Sierra departure, flight plan route, departure via SID 4000, and squawk 2051, Alpaca 47 Alpha Tango.
Alpaca 47 Alpha Tango, read the correct?
So runway 18 is the Cindy 4 Sierra. We'll select that
Mr. Jet
here.
598, ready for departure.
And fuel-wise, 9 tons needed, guys.
998, wind 200 degrees, 1
You'll
4 knots,
see.
runway 18 clear for takeoff.
I have 12.5,
Runway
so I've
18,
taken
clear for
1
takeoff, Mr. Jet
hour's worth of
598.
fuel. There's actually a reason for this, 30 minutes, which is what I usually take. But there's snow, potentially snow forecast in Bosnia and Herzegovina later, so I've just taken...
Alpaca 7531,
Everyone's in
information
7531. So you can see, look, 3.5 tons an hour. So I've got 12.5, so an extra hour's worth of fuel on board. And fully loaded, look, 226 passengers. And then we've got
Alpaca is cleared by the Cindy 4 Sierra via SID as filed 4000 feet and squawk 2052.
I've already selected it, I thought. 18
Alpaca
Cindy
7531, read the correct?
4 Sierra.
Alpaca 72, requesting taxi.
Alpaca 782, hold position.
074, Harem.
Alpaca 750 Alpha information clear current started approved, cleared Sarajevo, Cindy 4 Sierra, flight plan route, climb via SID 4000 feet, squawk 2033.
Parking brake is on. Cleared to Sarajevo on the Sydney 4 Sierra departure, climb 4,000 feet, squawk 2033, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, read that correct?
Perfect. So we've got our clearance. I'll just mute him now so we can just carry on there. So we'll just get everything set up. So 4,000 feet. Cindy 4 Sierras in the FMC, and the squawk is 2033, which is now set. Ah! I'm trying to find which one it is. This one, big one. 2033. Perfect. Excellent. Someone forgot you to get startup approval with departure clearance and journey. Oh yeah, it's quite common in Europe, to be fair, Lauren. A lot of them they go start approved, give you a clearance, and then you don't actually start at that point. You just request push when you're ready, and then start the engines as well. Why I don't know, but it's very common with the Germans. Tango 104 to Xerum. There's Xerum in the FMC. Mike 867. To Pitar, and there's Claggy. Next page is direct to Magam, right over Salzburg and the Alps today. Very nice routing. And then it's Pixal, and then Bosna. Bosna 1 November. Arrivals, Bosna 1 November, and we'll go for ILS Zulu 1-1 straight in via Bosna transition. We'll activate that, execute, carry on with the rest of the setup. So, quite heavy today, 0 fuel weight, 86.1 tons, reserves for our alternate, which I think was Budapest. Oh no, it's changed. Must have been the new Simbri flight planner generation. I forgot to manually change it to Budapest. It's Lima Delta Delta uniform. I have absolutely no idea where that is. Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik's our alternate. Okay, we'll go there. And we need 4 tons. There we go. Cruise altitude, quite heavy, but it's 35,000 feet. Cost index, the Alpaca Airways standard 30. There we are. Takeoff will go. What is it with the 75? It's 1 and 5. I think 5. If I go 1, I'm sure 1's available, but it just increases the risk of a tail strike, so I don't want to do that. And we'll take in a ship temperature of 35 degrees. I have no performance data. This is just randomly punched in. Runway 18 still quite long, 4,000 meters, so that should be fine. I used 35 there, it was okay. And V speed, we'll use the pre-populated speeds, quite high look because we're very heavy, 148, 158, V2 is 169, and I think in the flight fact it updates the MCP speed, V2 for you, 169 updated. So FMS is all loaded, we've got some speed restrictions to comply with there. I'm going to probably hold at flap 1 for the initial turn. So I just need to update the runway QDM now to 178 degrees. And now we'll brief the taxi, Sid, and then we'll get on out of here. So, let me grab the airport charts. We are on stand Bravo 25. It's going to be a pushback for us, probably to face southwest, exit via November 5, then going to go on to taxiway November or Lima, head westbound all the way to Whole Point runway 18, so down there. I'm sort of hoping 25 centimeters a shorter taxi, but no, that's fine. We can see all the traffic taxiing down. And then once we blast off of runway 18, the SID is a Cindy 2 Foxtrot. So the great thing is I can actually pop this out here, select legs, and then we can go down here to plan. There we are. I want to have airports on, and that's it at this stage. So let's reduce the scale. It's doing something funky. The distance seems to be... Yeah, I did that earlier. I might have to do something to get... I might have to get rid of that missed approach point because it was doing something a bit funky earlier. So, departure is, for us... Legs usually takes you to page 1, doesn't it? 7-3. Straight ahead, off runway... Oh no, I need to select the other chart, don't I? Which is Cindy 2 Foxtrot. Negative Cindy 4 Sierra RNAV. Which one of the 2,000 charts is it, I wonder? Because they have Cindy overlay, and then they have Cindy conventional. Typical Germans. So 1 Delta 2 Foxtrot, and 4 Sierra. There we are. So Cindy 4 Sierra, Delta Foxtrot 159. Actually, I've got 158 first. There it is. Sorry, 158, 159, max 220, and then it's 2,500 feet above those checks. It's then a left turn to Amtix. There's Amtix, and from Amtix it's direct to Cindy. And at Cindy we should be at flight level 190. Stop altitude's 4,000 feet, so quite low. And contact landing radar when advised by tower. Close-in obstacles. Strict adherence with the limits of the aircraft performance is mandatory. There we are. Typical German ordering there. There we are. So that's all covered and briefed. So that's closed. That's closed. I just need to transfer the V speeds to here, which is the cool, funky displays. So I believe we go to takeoff. Press. How did I do this earlier? That's it. I flicked it to takeoff and approach, and then press set. So all my V speeds are now set. And MFRA. Oh yeah, QNH. Just get that set as well. I'll just grab the latest weather from the METAR, which will be the same as the ATIS here. So it is QNH of 1011. So we'll go to hectopascals, 1011. And what is the NADP procedure here? It is NADP 2. So we'll bug up as usual at 1,000 feet, but I'll set the MFR 8. Now the MFR 8, a lot of people who have been watching my stream will see me set this whenever I can. This is not the point at which we accelerate with 2 engines, it is just coincidentally that most of the time. This is actually the height at which we accelerate in the event of an engine failure after V1. It just happens to be the same height we accelerate on an NADP2 departure. It just gives us a little green arrow on the PFD. Perfect, so I think we've covered everything. Routing's in. Checked all the instrumentation, we'll get the APU up and running now. Emergencies we're happy with, takeoff we're happy with, performance we've done. We'll just put this back to map. Cool. I'll catch up with chat now, I just want to get things on the road here. Hello Brandon, yes, flight data sim is finally back in the brown Boeing. Yes, the brown interior, it's typical of the 757, but here she is, all ready to go, and we just hopefully hear the APU booting up here. If I turn the sounds up slightly, there we go. Evening Captain, everyone, hope you're doing well. Mark Burgess, thank you very much for popping in. Hello, says EDS Legends. How's the VATSIM update, Cap? Really good. We've just seen an aircraft land, an aircraft takeoff looks very smooth, and you'll hopefully see some today once we're taxiing out, and also when we land in Sarajevo, we'll have a look at an aircraft landing as well. Pocket, why are your frames so good with the modern displays? We were discussing that briefly at the start. I had terrible FPS issues with the modern displays on my old PC. My new PC is a bit of a brute. It's having no problem running that at all. There was definitely a noticeable FPS drop though. I mean, sat here Frankfurt with those clouds, I'm getting 40 FPS, and that's my, you know, it'd be unusable on my old PC. But when I turned the displays on, it went from about 60 to 40. But it's fine for me today. Once we get airborne, it increases up to 60 or so. It is a bit FPS intensive. Perfect. So APU is now running. We can now put the APU generator on, disconnect the ground power, and put the APU bleed on as well. There we are. Got some lovely conditioned air coming into the cabin. Oh, look, it's only 9 degrees. Been a bit cold back there, and we'll now get everything disconnected. So ground removal and airplane close all doors. There we are. All it's saying is engines are shut down and central hydraulic electric tube pump is off. Parking brake set. I think we're all good. Look at that long boy. Someone said. Brilliant. Right, still only tower online, so we'll turn him back up, get better pushback ordered, and we will set that up. Actually, we'll get him connected first.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Sounds authentic.
For the inconvenience, continue taxi, hold it to holding for runway 18 November.
Listen, what code does the plane base on Sassel Lure?
Small explosion.
So it's having explosions. There's nothing you want to hear on the radio.
4, Mike Yankee, information travel current.
Sassel, I think, yeah.
Clear Zurich, Yankee 1 Lima, flat land route, climb via set 4000 feet, squawk 1000.
Ah, it's the Bavarian Stallion. Love it. the more Bavarian side of Bavaria. I don't think I've forgotten anything. Like I said, I just set this up like I do the 7.3 and it works quite well. It does. It does sound like it's on the end of his shift.
Alpaca 782, contact Lang 120.8, ciao.
Alright, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
He's definitely finishing his shift. He wants to finish his shift, put his feet up and have a Weiss beer and a Frankfurter.
Alpaca 5 Alpha Lima, Pushback approved. Push approved, 5 Alpha Lima.
Brilliant.
Alpaca 14 Mike Juliet, wind 200 degrees, 14 knots, runway 18 clear for takeoff. Runway 18 clear for takeoff, up, come on for Mike Juliet.
Looks like an Alpaca's getting out of here.
Antonella 168, Frankfurt Tower, hello, give me a second, double check it.
Oh no, the German beat us. To be fair, this is probably a Lufthansa terminal over here, seeing there's Lufthansa painted on every conceivable flat object. Oh, there's a regular 757 there. He's in the old school flight deck to SIB livery, love that. Anyway, get our clearance in. And Tower, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha on stand Bravo 25, request push and start when ready.
Alpaca 47 Alpha Tango, pushback approved, face west on November.
Queue. Unless he thought that was me calling.
Frankfurt Tower, you just cleared me to pushback, but I think it was for another aircraft, so Alpaca 47 Alpha Tango.
Alpaca 47 Alpha Tango, pushback approved.
I was going to call you for pushback in a minute, but I think somebody got there first. Alpaca 47 Alpha Tango.
Tower, yeah, it was the Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha on stand Bravo 25, requesting push and start.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha standby, call you back for push.
Perfect. So when you're told to stand by, you don't need to see anything. Just
Frankfurt Tower, good night.
he knows you're waiting. So we've got a Lufthansa.
Alpha 25, request clearance to Male.
Ooh, A340s everywhere.
705, Frankfurt Tower, hello, call you back for clearance.
So this little update that X-Pilot did, I think, fixed a bit of a floating aircraft issue that some people were having, but so far, so good. It's looking very smooth.
76, then Victor 324, request clearance.
They did list him in. You are dead to ATC.
Cargo 276, Frankfurt Tower, hello, number 2 for clearance, call you back.
Well, I think
Tower, Alpaca
good.
643, request radio check.
Alpaca 643, Frankfurt Tower,
Hello,
hello,
surrounded by Airbuses. Oh.
Frankfurt Tower, Alpaca 47 Alpha Tango. We will take our push and start now, approval, if that's possible. Thanks.
Alpaca 47 Alpha Tango, pushback approved.
Track approved, Alpaca 47 Alpha Tango.
He's probably somewhere. There's such a huge airport, Frankfurt.
And Alpaca 14 Mike Juliet, contact Lang 120.8, ciao. 120.8, up, come on for Mike Juliet, thanks for the ATC, bye bye.
That's why I came here, because I knew it'd be busy. And this one controller who's doing everything amazing.
Clearance to
Sarajevo! Bless him. I would have said something like that, to be fair.
Station take and call sign, please.
Alpaca 643.
Alpaca 643, Frankfurt Tower, hello, number 3 for clearance, call you back.
Just answer 9, Tango, request taxi.
The 9 Tango, taxi to holding point runway 18 via November.
18 via November, Tango.
Yeah, I was going to do Berlin, but we did Berlin not that long ago. They have VATSIM events every Tuesday in Berlin, Zurich, and Bergen.
Tower Alpaca 7531 is also ready for push and starts stand Bravo 22.
Alpaca 7531, hold position, call you back.
this thing. I might take this on the cross the land as well, but I think I'll pole that. Such a beast. Yeah,
70704.
Exactly, John Padfield.
Information,
I can't talk the right pronunciations.
Cleared Male, Cindy 4 Sierra, flight planned route, climb to at 4,000 feet, squawk 2101.
James, got it all sorted, X-Pilot working. Had to revalidate files as Steam, 27 files have failed, all okay, thank goodness, oh dear. Yeah, sometimes X-Plane can throw a bit of wobbly in Steam. 16 flies to Sarajevo. That's quite a lot, small airport. But they've got a VATSIM event this evening as well, so it'll probably get busier. It's only an hour, 20 minutes to get there from here.
Call you back.
Should the A350 on across the land? Oof. A Colossal Cardo. What is Alpaca Airways? I noticed it in your Concorde videos.
168, Frankfurt
It's
Tower,
our unofficial virtual airline here at Flight Deck to Sim, which we just sort of use it on the network. It's unofficial. Anyone can join it. Anyone can use it. And yeah, it's fine.
7531, pushback approved.
Not me.
Okay, 7531.
Talking about pronunciations, I've always struggled to pronounce this. Is it Gulam? Gulam? Italian, I think. Welcome, Gulam, as a member. Oh, I can't say that. I'm so sorry. Glad you enjoyed the content. You get invited to our members only Discord. Hope you enjoy using the custom hosted chat. Thank you very much for the dedicated support. Island Box Gamers should apply for an official VA for VATSIM. Yeah, but they've got to run a website and all that sort of stuff. So I think we just like it the way it is. It's cool. It's G-Jome, Gurome, G-Home.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Cheers, Pastor Escobar.
Alpaca 5, Alpha Lima.
Do you have Bex on board this bird?
Let me have a look at the galley, Pastor Escobar. Yes, we have lots of Bex. Not a fan of gassy Bex though. It's a lie. Thanks a lot, buddy. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And thanks for continued support as well. We've got every beer on our 757. It's Oktoberfest every day in Alpaca Airways. And our German Alpaca Airways.
From the 704, stand by, call you back for pushback.
Thanks for subscribing.
Stations looking for clearance, please contact Frankfurt. Delivery 1-to-1.
Delivery's online now. It's called for backup.
And PDC is available now.
Just delivery though, no ground, so Tau's still going to have to deal with that. That's going to at least lower his workload. Definitely not Italian, no, he's not.
Packer 9er, Whiskey X-ray, wind 200 degrees of 1 knots.
So now that Lufthansa's taxied out, there's the other Alpaca. Hopefully we'll be behind him. "12 minutes late off stand now." Should think whilst we're waiting, we might as well have a look at what's going on around the airport. I think that is the 757-200 just waiting to taxi. It's a 7.6, isn't that a 7.6? XE's a little bit sunk into the ground. These are just the basic Bluebell CSLs. Very cool. Does look very smooth. Much better than the older version.
Lufthansa 8 Kilo Foxtrot.
Yeah, I didn't really choose the best stand. I was basing my stand choice on getting quickly off 25 centre, but I'm sort of a bit stuck in the cul-de-sac there on Bravo 25.
Packer 7531 advice, ready for taxi.
Yeah, The actual movement is so much better. Really nice. Looks like the vertical velocity is adjusting on the 7.6. Yeah, it's a little bit sunk into the ground, isn't it?
It is Alpaca 7531 advised ready for taxi.
Alpaca 7531.
Multiply any hit on the FPS and velocity, I very much doubt that.
Alpaca 7531.
Joan, I think he's forgotten you. He did say we're number 3. It was a Lufthansa.
185 November, Alpaca 752.
Then this one. Hopefully.
Tower Alpaca 47 Alpha Tango, push from stand Bravo 28, request taxi.
Will be next.
Alpaca.
But yeah, unfortunately,
Tango.
you know, sometimes you get delayed because there's zero amount of traffic. But when you're in a cul-de-sac like this, you're very stuck.
Give way to company 753 from right.
Well, what is a remote stand here?
22, runway 18, holding points via November, at November 5, give way to the company 753, Alpaca 47 Alpha Tango.
Alpaca 9 Whiskey X-ray ready for departure. Alpaca 9 Whiskey X-ray, you're already cleared for takeoff. Wind 200
go.
4 knots. 18 cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff. Apologies, I did not hear that. Clearance.
It's always better to not take off when you've. It's always better to not take off when you're not cleared or cleared than actually taking off without clearance. Town Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha still standing by for push and start when there's a stop, thanks.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, you're on my list. Stop, your company is crossing behind you.
Of course, thank you. He's German, of course he would be. Javelin, I had his doubts. Other controllers you might notice, but yeah, look at the movement, very smooth, and you can see, look, as he's having to make a little corrections there to stay on the sense line. It's all instant. With the old version, it would sort of move, and then you can see the movement and direction change after about every 4 or 5 seconds or whatever it was. Now look at the rotation, so smooth. When the sound, tough sound is really good now, and I think in time that will improve as well.
4 knots, runway 25 left, clear to land.
25 left, clear to land,
Tango ready for departure.
He looks a bit high.
Alpaca 9 Whiskey X-ray, contact land 120.8, ciao.
Say 340. So cool. Great to see the ATC. Well, the Germans are always very professional, and this guy is just chill. You can tell he's got absolutely so much capacity, no issue whatsoever. This guy's a pro. You are on the list. Who remembers that Dad's Army episode where sorry for the war reference from my German friends here. It's a Dad's Army episode where they have a U-boat commander caught up here, and he has a list of all the people he wants to, when they win the war, to be held accountable for. There's a character called Pike, and he sings a song about Hitler, and he adds him on his list. And then Captain Bannering says to Pike, "Don't tell him his name." Oh no, he says. Pushback approved, Alpaca 75 Sierra. Yeah, exactly, mate. Don't tell him Pike. That's what he says, Captain Bannering. Just put "Don't tell him Pike" on Google and have a look at that video. It's classic. My dad used to love Dad's Army. Right, cleared pusher starts, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll go ahead, better pushback. Start pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Nearly finished your shift, buddy. We'll do something. Actually, I don't want it to be quite as sharp as that.
From the 704, when clear off.
Tow connected in paddle spin inserted. Release parking brake.
So packs off. Anti-collision light on. Parking brake. We can now release and transponder to out off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Let's turn off the music.
Ready for push and start. China 826, Frankfurt Tower, hello, pushback.
Yeah, I remember that episode, classic.
Please, East China 826.
Yes, there he goes. Your name will also go on the list. What is it? Captain Manager goes, yeah, don't tell him Pike. Classic.
Lufthansa 8 Kilo Fox.
Quality on that is really nice.
Your message.
Right, anyway, starting engine number 2. Exactly the same as the 73. Switch to grounds. Select
1 Kilo
engine.
Foxtrot. Correction.
Have it, because it's a RB211, it's a 3-spool engine, have entry. I think you just have to enter fuel when you get to the purple or pink bug, which is 25%. Make sure you go all the way up to run, not rich. What rich is, I can't remember. It's a 75 thing.
Tango Tango, contact Langwood 0 display, ciao.
Oh yeah, looks like the generator's come on already. So EGT stabilising around 350, 400 degrees, N1 still slightly increasing, N2 50%. Generator definitely going on the bus there. And we'll now start engine number 1. I think that's stabilised. Just wait until N1 sort of stopped increasing.
Tucker 295, Frankfurt Tower, hello. Pushback approved, facing south.
We'll start now engine number 1. I forgot to mention, these are not the stock Flight Factor 757 sounds. The stock 757 Flight Factor sounds are not great, if I'm honest. I've got the FT Sim sound pack.
Pushback approved.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
External audio is required.
Tucker 643, pushback approved, facing north on Sierra 1.
Hi Prashni, I was studying and got distracted by showing up in my recommended. Welcome. You do get that lovely buzz sound though when you set takeoff power. Jim, I think rich mode is to help start up in cold weather. Ah, interesting.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. See you next time. Servus.
Servus. Oh dear. Right, let's decrease the range to the minimum amount on the ND. That's looking good. We'll do the before taxi flows. Generators are on. APU gen I think we leave on, but we turn the APU off. Star switch we don't need to put in continuous. There's no probe heat when the heat's on. Packs auto. Isolation valve close. Oop, APU bleed off. And that is set. Flaps, we're going to go for flap 5 for departure. Flight controls coming up. Let me select system here. So flight controls, back a bit from my chair. My chair's not in the best place there. There we go. So elevator, full down. So full up, full down. Ailerons, full left, and full right. And rudders, full left and full right. There we go. Oh, there we are. Yoke cam off. I just need to adjust my rudder pedals, which are slipping all over the place. I just realised my control column's not really centred. Can't really move it now. Recall, which is just here, and we can blank this, DU, and we then complete the before taxi checklist. I think we've done everything. I feel like I've forgotten something. Oh, goodness knows what it is. It's not a good sign, but I have no checklist or Jim to read anything. We'll just have to trust that I have done everything. I'll request taxi. Oh, APU generator off. I don't want it off. I want it on still.
Frankfurt Tower, hello nochmal, die Airway Cargo 276 and Victor 324.
So here we are on November 5.
Cargo 276, pushback approved.
Yeah, I just need to sort my rudder pedals out. They're slipping all over the place. Oh. I have a hard floor, but basically it sits on a one of those carpet slip mats to stop it slipping. It is very good, but sometimes it can get into a position where it just doesn't work and it slips all over the place. But there we are. I had to turn yoke cam off because you would have seen my glorious face. Request taxi. Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. Request taxi on November 5.
Parker 75 Sierra Alpha, confirm you can taxi without hitting the Lufthansa 747, correction Lufthansa A330 on November.
Yeah, there's sufficient clearance there. Parker 75 Sierra Alpha.
Parker 75 Sierra Alpha, taxi holding point runway 18 via November.
Taxi 18 via November, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. Looks, there was sufficient space, but then again...
Lufthansa 704, we are also ready for taxi.
Yes, we go first.
704, taxi holding point runway 18 via November, give way
Yes!
to Alpaca Boeing 757 on November 5.
Oh, I don't have the here, boy.
Taxi 18 via November.
I thought he'd give priority to his German friend. But there should be sufficient wing clearance. But I love the Germans. They.
757, continue taxi cross runway 25.
I love it. He's doing it real properly. You know, he doesn't want us to hit it. Make sure there's sufficient clearance.
November 8, hold short of November.
And the H1302 chocks. Chock free. I think I'd be able to have moved. Anyway, yeah, you can.
Tower Starfleet 1701,
I think
Victor
there's
144
sufficient space
for
there.
push.
So there's first right. That'll be on to November.
Starfleet
Starfleet?
1701,
See how
push
close
the
it was. Loads of space there. Loads of space.
168, request taxi, able Lima 6. And 168, exit holding point, runway.
So yeah, I forgot we're very long, so we need to overshoot these turns slightly.
Taxi holding point, 25 center, by number 8, hold short, November, 9168.
So I was going to stop.
Alpha Tower, Google Condor 871, ILS 25 left.
871, Frankfurt Tower, hello, wind 200, decrease 14 knots, runway 25 left, clear to land.
25 left, clear to land, Condor 871.
Alpaca 295, ready for taxi.
Station, say again.
Alpaca 295, ready for taxi.
Very nice. So.
K295, taxi holding point, runway 18 via November.
Beautiful.
Holding point, runway 18 via November, Alpaca 295.
Cool. So we'll now complete the before takeoff checklist. So config. Don't actually do a config. There we are. Checked. Flaps we have. Flaps set to 5. Stab trim set for departure. Oh, I didn't actually set the stab trim, did I? 4.6 units. Oh, I did set the stab trim. 4.6 units set.
Alpaca 4 Yankee Lima.
Takeoff briefing.
You're on a taxi out, stand
packs are in auto, bleeds on, and V-speed is set for departure. They are 148, 158, 169 set. The departure is the Cindy 4 Sierra, climbing straight ahead to Delta Foxtrot 158, left turn Delta Foxtrot 159. Stop altitude 4,000 feet, NADP2, so we'll accelerate at 1,300 feet. And we expect to contact Langham radar after departure. Frequency 120.8. That's it. That's reviewed, cabin secure.
Parker 7531, line up runway 18.
His controller has been, I mean, amazing. Very, very good. Many miles. Did Flight Sim mention why daytime? Because over the Alps, we are 9 hours behind live time. Exactly 9 hours behind live time.
Frankfurt Tower, hello, your number.
Otherwise, it's just dark. You can't see the Alps, all the beautiful scenery. And we wanted. This stream is all about the
1701, November
Velocity
7th,
VATSIM update. If I do it at
taxi.
night, can't see anything. It'd be a bit pointless. Sorry about the VATSIM volume, guys. I'll just turn that down a bit. The controller went very quiet. I think I might have just turned VATSIM down a bit too low. I can't hear it now.
Frankfurt Tower, Alpaca 643
Looking
is
good.
ready to taxi on Sierra 21.
Alpaca 643, 643, advise able intersection Sierra departure.
I think that was for someone else, but yeah, November. We'll take November.
Parker 643, runway 18, intersection Sierra. Parker 47 Alpha, line up runway 18.
Line up runway 18, Alpha 47 Alpha.
Gotta do another taxi past. Ah! A race!
Takeoff will be able to take Sierra for runway 18.
So,
Taxi rolling point runway 18 via Sierra 1 Romeo.
helps us stay on the taxi line though.
Sierra 5 and Sierra.
Beautiful. Bit of a queue though. 1, 2, 3, 4, number 4, number 5 for departure, not too bad. Yeah, the regular brake seems to trigger the parking brake in the flight factor. It's okay. That's what that clicking sound is.
Under 871, Under 871, willkommen in Frankfurt. Expect Bravo 48. Taxi right on Mike and Mike 8 hold for the
Very
first
cool.
center.
Why are there so many Alpaca liveries? Because Alpaca Airways is flying, Alex. We have hubs in every international airport in the world. I think at last count our fleet total was about 76,000. Oh, there's all alpacas ahead. Let's have a look. Yes. No. There's a German there, a little A319.
8 via number 8.
Oh, through the engine. Do you stream DCS as flight? Right, I don't. But it has been requested a lot. Very cool. Honestly, what is this VATSIM Velocity means? Basically, VATSIM have had a huge update whereby the other aircraft that appears look and appear like they're moving a lot smoother. Before the movement was a little jagged. I never thought it was an issue. Well, it was an issue, it just didn't look as good as it does now. So we'll observe a few of the takeoffs, and you'll see. We just get behind this aircraft here. Then we'll observe the takeoff. But you can see how he's already moving, how it's a lot smoother. There's that initial movement when they spool up the engines, check the thrust, whereas before the movement was a little bit jagged. So there he is in his 7.5.
Frankfurt Tower, Lufthansa 47 Bravo, requesting push and start.
Advice.
There's Prashnu's much better explanation of what it's all about.
Welcome.
Welcome RFF. Yeah, look at the rotation now. Much smoother. Look at this. Mega. So this is us. We've got Lufthansa's an A320, 757. That's the A300. Us in the 757-300, and then another. Is that a 76 or what's that? No, A330. That's an A330 behind us.
Contact land,
Good boy behind you. We do. Yeah. Big difference in the wide and narrow body. Got it.
Uniform ready for push start.
Airbridge cargo 74 over there.
On the 27 uniform, pushback approved.
Look at an aircraft's engine, it spins, it does, Liam, but it doesn't look, well, that one isn't spinning. I think it depends on the model. Yeah, his is spinning. They're very basic, obviously, but, I mean, they serve their purpose perfectly.
Like a 170 where we're cutting taxi.
So there you go.
Tucker 170 Sierra, call you for taxi at first Lufthansa 8 Kilo Foxtrot, line up runway 18.
That's the Lufthansa.
Line up 18, Lufthansa 8 Kilo Foxtrot.
And the fact that, look, you can see, look, he's moving instantly as soon as he takes brake off. Andy, does velocity mean spinning props on the Q400? No, I don't think so. I think velocity has nothing to do with the animations on the aircraft. That's all to do with the CSLs. So that's been available for quite some time. See if I can taxi from here. External taxi cam.
Charlie from Ottawa. First Lufthansa to Papa Mike, number 2 to call you back.
We can. Do you any plans of ever planning a long-haul flight on the channel? Very rarely do them. Usually I do the VATSIM across the land. Particularly on 25. That looks so great. Yeah, VATSIM across the pond, crosses the land I'm doing, which it's not even long, it's about 4 hours. But just because it's a long time just sat here, not really doing much. You guys want to see takeoffs, landings, approach briefings and stuff. I'd rather do a 2-sector in a space of 4 hours as opposed to a long haul, but we do occasionally do them. A little bit too close then. How much fuel have we got? 12 ones. We're about 400 kilos of fuel. Taxiing. We started with 12.5. We have allocated for taxi 150 kilos. I mean, to be fair, that is 10 minutes. Should have increased that to 30 minutes.
Good evening here, Canada 1, Papa Echo.
Underline 168, contact Lang, water to display town.
Sam, when it's crossed the pond this year, it'll be in 6 months, or is it? I was working on the last one, fortunately.
First, Underline 168, stop.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, on longer flights we do quizzes. And breakout if it works in the aircraft.
Chicago 47 Bravo.
0321, sure you can use the Feeder 74 for cross land, give you something to do in the cruise. We'll have a look at that, I'm going to poll it. That's next weekend.
Sierra, runway 18.
Chicago 276, one arrival ahead.
Swap flies, where can I get all the famous alpaca liveries? They're completely free to download. Their livery of the aircraft I'm streaming is always downloadable by using the command !livery. I was telling the mods today, if you ever really want a livery for a particular aircraft, the mods will post a link for that as well. But if you ever see any of my streams you want that livery, have a look at the chat, because it's probably 4 or 5 times, certainly during the start of the stream, people put the command in for the livery.
Frankfurt Tower, Oscar Bravo, November Lima, at the General Aviation ready. Taxi. Oscar Bravo, November Lima, taxi to runway 18 via 03 Romeo, Sierra 5, and Sierra.
God, he's a long way down there.
2 only points runway 18 for Sierra 2 Romeo and Sierra 5.
See, one of the things I noticed with the external audio, you can hear the other jets, and it's a little bit too loud in the cockpit. The aircraft's quite well insulated for sound against other jet engines. You only hear them when they're taking off. Or other jets.
4.25% via November 5, Lima 3 for the Lufthansa.
China 826, line up runway 21st center.
It's got an aircraft taking off on 25 center as well.
Tucker 295, line up runway 18. From the 8 Kilo Foxtrot, contact Lang, water to display town.
That's the aircraft ahead of us. There you go, look at the movement, much smoother, super cool. Don't need to add any thrust, look, just move forward. Same, the max is like this, you don't actually need to add thrust, just use the parking brake. It's got a lot of static thrust at idle. Colossalco, is the traffic normally like this? In the sim, yeah, I mean a lot of people, VATSIM's a very popular airport on VATSIM. Did I say VATSIM's very popular on VATSIM? Frankfurt is a very popular airport on VATSIM. 80 guys, amazing. Yeah, he hasn't even broke a sweat lid. No problem.
Parker 643, 1 departure.
Love the bouncy suspension.
Good evening, Canada 1, Papa Echo information, November plane to Toronto, please.
Nearly there, guys. Hockey for life, still a bit jittery on the rotation. I notice sometimes when it just gets off the ground it can be a little bit of a jitter, but yeah, much better than it was before. I mean, there's already been 2 updates to X-Pilot to allow for sort of floating aircraft and other small issues. But yeah, it's like, this would be like Frankfurt, you know, a rush hour. This is exactly what it'd be like. Such a cool aircraft, the 75.
Perfekt. Lufthansa 971, Pushback ruft.
A lot of alpacas, though. Got a little MD-80 as well, that's cool. Steve Evingle, anyone seen the BA from Aberdeen bouncing in and out of Heathrow today? Looked like fun. Yes, from Big Jet TV, isn't it? Well known. I've seen, I've watched, look at those clips. Yeah, challenging conditions. I was talking to the guys in Discord about it. It looks like they had a tail strike. Very hard to tell. It was very close to either being a tail strike or just being a tail strike. So certainly respects to go-arounds. A go-around sort of becomes what's called as a rejected landing after you've touched down, or below 50 feet. And seeing he actually landed and then went around, we also call that a bulk landing as well. Key thing with a bulk landing, and I'm not, I'm just saying this from the comfort of my office chair, is to not make the nose go up. If you let the nose go up like the crew did, you risk a tail strike on an aircraft like the 321, an aircraft like this, the 737-900. A high risk of tail strike. The key thing is if you go around or have to go around after landing, it's very easy to let the nose come up. And whoever it was that started the stream said, yeah, 9.5 degrees, if you hit that attitude on the ground here in this aircraft, you're going to scrape the tail. So the key thing is actually if you have to go around after a bulk landing, is you set go around thrust and you just hold the landing attitude. Don't let that nose come up until you're sort of away from the ground. Hold the landing attitude, don't let the nose come up, and as you go away from the ground, then you can smoothly pitch up in the 737, it's 50 degrees, whatever it is in the Airbus, don't know. But I was discussing it with one of my friends actually, who's a colleague. I still don't understand how it works in the Airbus with the side sticks, because you've got your side stick here, and obviously in the Boeing, the controls are directly connected, so whatever input you make on the rudder, the yoke, it is also making the same input there. So if the captain wants to take control, he can just take control. Now I know on the Airbus they have a priority button, or is it a priority switch? How does that work? I mean, is the priority switch only on the captain's side, or is it on the first officer's side? So it must be difficult in those situations if, let's say, if it's a new first officer, he's made a slight error and he's bounced hard and you decide to go around. How does he take control immediately? I mean, is there a button he pushes and then, right, I have control? It looks there, but I've got another friend who flies the Airbus. I've discussed it with him in the past. He said that the 321, especially in those sort of conditions, is quite a handful compared to the 320, 319. And he's flown the what did he fly before? Was it Bombardier? I can't remember, but he said it was a lot easier to handle in those conditions. Yeah, captain's priority takes priority. Yeah, absolutely. I should think it is, but I guess that's instant as well. But yeah, it's easy. It's easy from the comfort of my office chair to just watch that and go, oh, you know, should have done that, should have done that. They made a, you know, careers happen every day, and we all make mistakes. Key thing is that wasn't negligent, no, and they did the right things, and tail strikes happen. They'll probably go for tier biscuits and then just carry on.
Liberty 5211, go around, say again, go around.
Uh-oh.
5211, go around.
There he goes, just caught it. Oh, I think it's because the 7-4's there. The go-around looked very smooth. Willing, I think.
Last station,
this is the perfect airport to observe VATSIM Velocity.
The 577 heavy, advise able, visual approach runway 25 center. Able visual approach 25 center, 577. The 577 in case of missed approach. Fly runway track, climb 5,000 feet, cleared visual approach runway 25 center.
That CSL looks great on the
In case of
wording.
missed approach, climb runway heading
Do you like the
5,000,
wording?
cleared visual approach 25 center from the 577. Airbridge 276. Wind 20 degrees, 13 knots, runway 25 left, clear to take off.
It's getting busy now.
Clear takeoff 25 left, average carrier 276.
And look at the arrivals. Ooh, where's he? Is he sidestepping?
The Parker 295, advise able for departure.
Thunder 47 Bravo, ready for taxi.
His workload's just started to creep up a little bit, you can tell now. I feel put a little bit of music on whilst we wait here. Oh my goodness, what's he doing? It's 777, isn't it? Cafe.
It's Liberty 5211, contact line 120 display, ciao.
What a shot. Look at that, with the aircraft queuing. The aircraft on approach and landing. Annoyed from Portugal, thanks Captain 83.
1096 Frankfurt Tower, hello, number 2.
That's a great shot. Lauren, they asked the cafe to a visual sidestep for the other runway. Just missed that. Looks like one of my bridges off mark. And a sidestep.
Stand by, call you back, Lufthansa 971, taxi to point runway 18 via November.
Let's watch the cafe land.
Parker 295, wind 20 degrees, 13 knots.
A bit of a crosswind. This is mega. This has been a great one to actually showcase velocity. Ooh, he's being pushed downwind. Look, he needs to correct onto the centre line.
Thunder 47 Bravo, stand Foxtrot 231, requesting taxi.
Lufthansa Cargo 47.
Oh, he's floating.
Bravo,
oh, he's being pushed downwind.
Via November 15.
Oh! There's an aircraft taking off. He's down.
To holding point and like 25 center via November 15 Lima
Better say we're ready.
For Lufthansa Cargo 47.
I think we're number 2. Keep pushing the parking brake button as the push to talk button because I'm left-handed. It's obviously in reality I use my left hand, which is the same on the yoke. I have it configured, but because I'm writing things with my pen and things like that. Oh my goodness me! He's doing a bit of a takeoff. Yeah, definitely the A300. You can tell the shape there. Might have got caught by a bit of wind. He's doing an intersection takeoff.
Tower D577 vacated Lima 15. The 577 will come in Frankfurt, expect Alpha 15, taxi, right on Lima. Hold short of November 5.
Tell him we're ready in sequence.
Right onto Lima, holding short November 5. May I have state number Alpha 52577?
What's a specific stand? You probably went on holiday for that one too. That's cool.
Schönen Dank, expecting Alpha 52.
Tower Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha at Hull Point, November from 18. Ready for departure in sequence.
Call you back.
Perfect.
X1096, wind 200 degrees, 1 knots, 25 left, clear to land. Wind Cockpit, 25 left, clear to land. Credit 096.
Nearly there, guys.
Echo, taxi to gate
Thank you for your patience. We'll be taxiing for about 30 minutes.
November East.
But that's nothing, you know, just the airport is super busy. Control has been absolutely perfect. All on his own as well. It does have an approach controller on, which is gets all the aircraft nice and coordinated on the approach for him.
743, wind 200 degrees, 13 knots, runway 18, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 18.
Well, seeing you're a lefty, how did you manage flying the Seneca if you needed to write stuff on the kneeboard if you had one? Just use my right hand on the control column. My left.
Alpha 38, request pushback.
So take your hand off the power lever briefly. But you're not sat there with your hand on the power levers the whole time.
Tango Hotel, pushback approved.
Mike back on the RLS 25 left again.
Very busy.
Tango 9er Yankee Mike, number 2, call you back.
Number 2.
Starless 1074 with information Oscar requesting clearance to this.
That was the 7.6 who were taxiing side by side with. See, he's a little bit sunken into the ground, but how does it actually cater to different airports, different sceneries and things like that?
I'm not taxiing until November 5, is it? Lufthansa 577, Roger, hold short of November 8.
Well, he's using every inch of that runway. Oh, tail strike! Busy, busy. So how much fuel have we burned? We've burned 700 kilos of fuel sat here, wow. That's a lot.
Alpaca 743, contact line 1 to the flight job.
40 decimal 8 for Alpaca 643 flat TTC.
They pay for the whole runway. That's Alpaca Airways that pay for that.
Yes, 295, contact line 1 to the flight job. R27 uniform. First, Lufthansa 9er Yankee Mike, wind 200 degrees, 13 knots, runway 25 left, clear to land.
Runway 25 left, clear to land. Lufthansa 9er Yankee Mike.
He's so good at prioritising.
Lufthansa 7 uniform, runway 25 center. Yeah, 25 center, that's uniform.
So he's coordinating takeoffs on 2 runways, landing aircraft on 1 runway, and dealing with all taxi instructions as well.
November East, November and November 7.
Absolutely crazy. 700 kilos, what's the fuel and idle? Let's have a look.
November 7 to gate Alpha 1.
600 kilos per engine, twice as much as CFM. So
1096.
we'd be burning 300 kilos an hour, 600 for this. It's like burning twice as much.
Taxi route 1096. 1096, taxi via Mike 20, hold short of 25 center.
Nearly there. I've got 20 minutes waiting for departure. I know.
Departure on way.
Patience required. But I've had similar problems in real life as well.
Stand by, call you back. 750 Alpha, line up runway 18.
Line up and wait to runway 18 down back at 750 Alpha. Excellent, guys. We got our line up and wait clearance. I'll turn the music off.
Frankfurt Tower, good evening. When do you have time? Lufthansa 7 Mike Echo 75 positive.
And we'll now do our before taxi before takeoff flow. So lights on, turn offs on.
7, I guess. Call you back.
Weather radar is on. We're going to have a bit of LNAV. We're going to use VNAV for departure in this aircraft and order frontal. So MCP is set. Transponder TAR array.
Any reason for waiting?
Strobe lights.
Fire controller chest.
We'll turn on a second. Let me just get lined up here. So quite a long aeroplane, so I'll overshoot that line quite a bit. Strobe's already on. Just waiting for a takeoff clearance. I overshot the line slightly, a little bit right to centre line, but we'll fix that during the takeoff roll. Excellent. I will reset it again when we get takeoff clearance, but that's just in case I forget. Doors all closed. Yep.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, wind 200 degrees, 13 knots, runway 18, clear for takeoff.
Runway 18, clear for takeoff, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. Controller change, there we are, right, clear for takeoff. There's timing, Toga's on chat, yoke cam on, and releasing parking brake.
Lufthansa 9, Yankee Mike, welcome to Frankfurt, taxi via Mike 30, hold short of runway 25 center. West Mike 30, hold short 25 center.
So about 40%. That's all stabilised. Where's the little click spot? Here it is. Toga. Set takeoff thrust.
Listening.
Starfleet 1701. Taxi via. Taxi
there we are. Takeoff thrust sets. Indication stall. Sorry, the sound's not very loud.
Yankee.
80 knots checked. Whoa!
I can give
Hold on, my thrusters went back there from takeoff thrust.
I'm
Yankee. Yeah, I can do Yankee.
Goodness, what's going on there? Let me just turn that down slightly. V1. And rotate.
Yankee, because I'm right at Yankee, and I can do left into Yankee and
we're airborne.
right into November South.
What happened to my magenta line there? Where the climb gears coming up? It's very quiet, the engines.
Taxi left on Yankee and right on November South.
Yankee, right November South, 1701.
There's LNAV.
5 Sierra Alpha, contact line radar 120.8.
120.8, and if you can say to your colleague, the AC was really, really good, and have a nice evening. Bye. Perfect. There's climb thrust, so we can now accelerate. We're just going to go to flap 1. Remember, there's a maximum speed of 220 knots for this turn. So flap 1, and we're not going to retract the flaps until that turn's complete.
Packer 643, question flight plan for level 110 and contact Langen on 123.275. Level 110, contact
Quite heavy today, remember?
Go
flaps up now. Langen good and armed, it's Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha on the Sydney 4 Sierra, passing 2,300 for altitude 4,000 feet.
Packer 75 Sierra Alpha Langen, hello and empty flight climb via flight level 110.
Via the Sig, climb flight level 110, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. So...
5 to 1 turn left heading 340, descent 4,000 feet, gauge 102.
Stripping nose down here. So 110 is set, VNAV's engaged, so we can now set standard. Standard set. Passing 38, flight level 110. Going to have to take off checklist done in a second. Just enjoying the hand flying for a second. It's quite hard to see the PFD with my view, so I've zoomed in slightly. Where IMC can't see much at the moment. Very nice. You're all in trim, so we get the autopilot in. There's command. Verify we have command on the PFD, and we can now finish the after takeoff checklist. So we have gears off. Water brake. I think it automatically pops off with the aircraft, which is much the heading bug here as well.
Packer 75 Sierra Alpha, contact Langen radar 123.275, bye bye.
123.275, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, juice.
Ramon. Yep, thank you. With 3902, you called as well?
Turn off and come off.
Yeah,
Nose gear. Pressurization, diff pressures 2.5 psi, cabin altitude climbing, slow rate of climb set. The cloud looks like yogurt.
Skydolphin 610, hello, Squawk 2127.
Very busy.
2127, Sky Global 610.
Lufthansa 405, hello, identified.
Yes, I saw this earlier, and it's a bug in the flight factor. It's to do with the missed approach intercept point. It does this funky thing. I did fix it earlier. So, if I go here to the legs page, if you look on the missed approach, there's this weird intercept point it just is struggling to calculate, so all I did was delete it. Then vectors should be able to line select key vectors if you can in the flight factor. Execute it just gets rid of that. It's weird. It's a bug of some sorts. Oops, leveling off there. 1-0. 1 to go. Better check it.
Lam Radar, schönen guten Abend, Lufthansa 6 Charlie X-Ray, flight level 200. Lufthansa 6 Charlie X-Ray, hello, identified, climb level 310, direct Dinkersbühl.
To where?
Wing 310, direct Dinkersbühl, Lufthansa 6 Charlie X-Ray. Radar, scan is settled you on, did you again?
So busy. Vertical speeds.
Scanny 031, hello, jetzt aber identified. Settled you on.
Oh god, there's like 10 million people checking it at once. So there's out cap.
Yeah, one more one, please. That was Lufthansa 2 Lima Charlie somewhere.
Well, thanks for scrubbing, Halder. Welcome aboard.
Okay, I guess not then. Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, hello, identified. Climb flight level 290.
Flight level 290, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. Hello.
Alpaca 295, stop, climb level
290 set, VNAV. We have EPR and VNAV speed. The clarity of these displays are really nice.
Yep, 13255. Alpaca 643, stop, climb level 290. Alpaca 643, stop, climb level 290.
Alpaca 293.
Okay, no initial calls, please, for the time being. No initial calls. I know who's on frequency. I will call you. Alpaca 643.
He's in control, this guy.
Love it. Swiss 245.
Oh no, Alpaca 643, are you there? It's about 4 times as called you. I'm guilty of that sometimes when streaming.
Dann Scandinavian 7 Whiskey Tango. Yeah, like I said, no initial calls. Scandinavian 7 Whiskey Tango. Scandinavian 7 Whiskey Tango.
You don't want to upset a German.
Scandinavian 7
Definitely not a German ATC controller.
Tango. Thank you, identified.
Inbound to Cindy, that's the SID terminated.
Climb 390, Scandinavian 7 Whiskey Tango.
Do the post-cruise
Wings
checks.
2042 on frequency.
Oh, yeah. Bye-bye Frankfurt. So, fuel we've got 5 tons either side, 10.5.
Dann Wings 2042, danke, identified.
Lights off.
Flight level 340,
APU off.
direct Kaplan.
Pressurization. 4.0 diff. Set.
Ja, korrekt, direct Kaplan.
Seatbelts. And those smoking off. There we are. And recall.
Na gut, dann nicht. Speedbird 6 Mike Charlie, contact Lang,
Yes,
Radar
complete.
120.8, tschüss. 108, thank you. Speedbird 1 Delta Charlie, contact Lang, 120.8, tschüss. 108, thanks for your help, bye.
I think we've got the volumes all sorted.
Speedbird 906, contact Lang, 120.8, bye bye. 120.8, thanks.
I've turned up the exterior volumes, it's never that loud. If I was in any other add-on, that would be deafening you now. Alex, are those charts Navigraph? Yes, they are, sir.
Radar Oscar Scarbravo November Lima, FedEx for Sierra depart, Indy for Sierra depart. Yeah, thank you. Lufthansa 2 Lima Charlie, I had you call earlier, you identified, cleared MPAX 3 Bravo arrival, descent level 100.
Oh, Mafia, it's got tired out because of the language. It's ultra clean, remember.
Alpaca 643, direct Nombo, November Oscar Mike Bravo Oscar.
So cruising at 30.
Again, for Alpaca 643, what was the waypoint? Apologies.
Yeah, Alpaca 643, have a listen for the radio, please. I tried to call you earlier as well. Direct Nombo, November Oscar Mike Bravo Oscar.
So quite a straight line. Going directly overhead Salzburg later on, Stuttgart there. and straight over the Alps, and then the Baltic, not Baltic, Bosnia-Herzegovina, I always forget how to pronounce that, and then, yeah, first ever time there, to Sarajevo. Quite a challenging airport to fly into, actually. There is an ILS, but a lot of terrain around.
Alpaca 643, contact München radar 132.55, tschüss.
We'll go for that scale there. So have a little briefing. We'll have a short time in the cruise. Nice flight actually.
Alpaca 750 Alpha direct Nombo.
Direct to Nomblo, Alpaca 750 Alpha.
Dann die Jamaica 1 on frequency.
Nombo.
Affirmative, Jamaica 1. Jamaica 1, thank you very much. Direct Spesa, when ready, descend to reach level 1.
I don't have a Nombo on my flight plan.
Steva in the flight level 100 is Steva, Jamaica 1. Alpine 83 Charlie Mike, speed 250 knots.
Why does he want me to go there? I guess for separation, so what I'm going to do is Nombo to Levbu. That's an interesting one. If that's for traffic, it's probably the reasons for traffic. Usually they just give you a vector, but he's probably doing that for space. But that's he messaged me and said it was Nombo. It's very unusual for clearance to be sent to a waypoint that's not on your flight plan.
Dann die Lufthansa 4 Lima Yankee, Halo identified. Lufthansa 2 Lima Golf and correction 1 Lima Golf.
Oh, good job I hate the 75's radio switching box. That's why I've got the Logitech radio tuning panel. Don't have to worry about that, the transfer switch.
Okay, ich nehme das als nein. Alpaca 750 Alpha, contact München radar 132.55, tschüss.
132.55, Alpaca 750 Alpha, tschüss.
Langenreiter, guten Abend. Lufthansa 704, climbing 110. Lufthansa 704, hello, identified climb. Flight level
132.55. Just wasn't sure if it was the right frequency.
HM503, switch to Unicom.
Radar, good night, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, climbing flight level 290, inbound to Nombo, then Levbu.
Alpaca 75 Alpha, though, after Nombo, proceed direct.
So I just came in broken there. After Nombo, confirm the waypoint.
After Nombo is to Kita, and further climb is in 3 minutes.
Where did he say? Nomba, and then Peter, and standing by further climb. Alpaca 750 Alpha. Thank you.
Welcome.
Nombo, Peter, execute. There we are. I don't have. Everyone have engaged. I love that. Peter, Lauren, Peter. I was like that, Lauren. Don't fly with German too often. Nice tailwind it is. 89 knots, ground speed over 500 knots now. Like the 75. I need to fly it more. You know, being a Boeing guy, I can just jump straight into the aircraft. And this is I've got the full version now, so I've got the expanded pack and the displays, which I've never really been able to use because, you know, they are very FPS intensive, these guys, these displays for the 7.5. I had the 7.5 flight factor fine without the displays. The display reflection on my old PC, it killed it, and there is, even on this one, I mean right now here, like, I'm getting 60 FPS. Now, the PC I've got is quite powerful. I know there's more powerful ones, but it's running this fine. On my old PC, the flight factor 7.5 most time was 30-35, and then with these screens it was 20. But no problem now, and I'm really enjoying them. They're very clear. The information is presented nicely. I want to go. So vertical speeds. A little bit of light turbulence here, so let's put the signal sign on. Peter? Peter? Oh, listen, a gyro. Oh, I'd love a gyro this evening. Sim is Sim 737 pilot. Is Jack flying co-pilot on your old PC? No, it was always Jim. Jim's always been my co-pilot. Jack is currently asleep below me under the desk. I feel very guilty if I was to wake him up for jump cam. He's fast asleep. He's like tucked up in a little ball. Oh, why do I only get the out warning 300 feet below the level? Got some traffic to our left, which is probably why I was told to go to Nombo, just to ensure there was sufficient clearance. It's 2,000 feet above. Let's see if we can spot it.
Thomas 17 Lima, confirm you're climbing.
Thomas 17 Lima, yeah, sorry.
Can't see him. Love these new clouds. Oh, well, I say new, I've had them for a while, but the enhanced sky sync clouds are wicked.
Transit 9 X-ray, confirm you're climbing.
Hi Mark, I only found your channel a month or two back and watched your Concord charity flight the other night. I was stunned by the amount you raised. Congrats to you and your fantastic members. Thank you very much, Mark Burgess. Since surpassing 50,000 subscribers every time, since then, every 10,000 subscribers, so 60, 70, I've done a charity stream. So we've done two. One for, it was a combined 50, 60, because I had about 58,000 subscribers before I said, look, I'd like to do something with the platform to support causes which are quite close to my heart. So we did the UK Air Ambulance for 60,000, 50,000 combined. For 70,000 we did the Dogs Trust, and in total we raised £7,000, so the next one will be the 80,000 subscriber. Flight level 350 Alpaca 750 Alpha. 350 is set, and let's be so yeah, for 80,000 we'll do another one. I'd like to do 80,000 subscribers in 8-hour stream. I think that'll be quite befitting. So whether I do a long haul or something, but we've raised, I think if you look on my playlist, the charity playlist, I have a list of how much we've raised, and I do have a permanent Fly Deck to Sim giving webpage on the Just Giving site for it, and I hope after the third one we would have raised over £10,000 for charities, which would be awesome. I haven't decided the charity yet. There's so many amazing charities out there, but yeah, well, I'll plan that. I'll dedicate a day to it, and all proceeds and donations will go to the charity on the day. Super cool. That's actually a good shout, Lauren. I've been thinking about that. A 4-sector day would be a quite way of doing it. Like I could do a proper full-on 4-sector, and that would take about 8 hours. And I'll work with, I'll contact some other people, see if they want to do any, giveaways and stuff like that. If we do, we could choose a base somewhere and we do a 4-sector operation, say out of, I don't know, well, America as an example. Let's say JFK, and then we do 4 sectors, 2 sectors, first sector to somewhere, then back to JFK, and then another one back to there, and finishing in JFK or something like that. But yeah, we'll do that. Well, it can't be long. We grow typically between 500 and 1,000 subscribers a month, so what are we up to, 76? So it'll be before summer. How are we doing for fuel, Captain? Asking for the OFB. Let's have a look. Travel Erasmus. As soon as we get to top of the climb, well, with Nobmo we passed about 40 miles ago, so we then got a decent shortcut, didn't we? So
München, schönen guten Abend, Lufthansa 3, Julia Tango, ist Flight Level 3.
oh no, of course, Nobmo, it was not on the flight plan, was it? So area airborne, 20 minutes, this waypoint here, let's put Bavax in the fixed page.
Descending level 200 and direct Beethoven, Lufthansa 3, Julia Tango.
Thomas Trot 17 Lima, contact N123275.
So Bavax is there, still a little bit ahead, still 80 miles away. Displays.
Charlie Papa out of level 70, direct to Rabe.
Taking ages to get there. Let's do Buram.
70, direct to Rabe, goes control Papa.
So we do a fuel check and beam. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. So Buram, we're almost a beam, and we'll do a fuel check there. We should have been there at 17 minutes, but we've been airborne for 19, so about 2 minutes late. We should have 6.6 tons on board. Don't forget we took an extra hour's worth of fuel, which was 3.5 tons. So we should have 7, 8, 9, about 10.1 tons. And we've got 9.2, so we burned an extra ton. reason is, it's all on the ground. We burned, what was it, 800-900 kilos sat on the ground waiting for takeoff. When we saw that, so that's explained where the fuel burn is.
290 knots, operator Lufthansa 3 included.
We started today with 12.5, we have 9.2, so we burnt nearly 3.5 tons.
Uneven speed numbers because I have
At Burama Beam now, 3.5, we should have burnt 2.3, so we burnt an extra 1,200 kilos, but that, so long as we find out why we burnt that extra fuel, which we know was sat on the ground for 40 minutes, burning, what was it, 1,200 kilos an hour, that's where the extra fuel burn's gone. So yeah, a bit down on the fuel, but we've taken quite a bit extra. There we are, 350, that's the cruise, sat here at about decimal 80, 79's target, and nice tailwinds, 520 knots, ground speed. Very nice. Hello Helm, looks like you're going to fly through turbulence from southeast of Germany onwards now. What's the shears? Yeah, we do have shears of 3 to... it's not too much turbulence forecast. Oh no, we do have some higher shears here though, look, 4, 7, 8, that's usually indicative of moderate turbulence, I think higher than 3 or 4. But how it's depicted in the simulator would be interesting to see.
Sierra Echo on heading 21, Sierra Lufthansa 94 uniform. 94 uniform, climb flight level 100. Level 100, Lufthansa 94 uniform.
Robert, I've just landed in Sarajevo, 11 knot tailwind on final approach. Lovely. 10 knots usually. Well, at my operator it's 10 knots. You can have approval up to 15 knots on certain runways.
704 after Bembo, proceed direct Zaza.
So yeah, right now, wind in Sarajevo is, oh, it's 320 at 3 knots, so hopefully, yeah, we'll be okay. It is a slight tailwind, but they runway 1 wants to prefer landing runway 2 knots. Daz 85 UK, hello. What weather injection software to use? I use Active Sky. When these clouds you see are from enhanced skyscapes. The audio's all over the place here. Ah, that's better. It's a little bit monotonous, the sound in the 7.5, but it's quite realistic because it would be very loud with the airflow. Cool. Well, that lovely Ortho 4 XP I downloaded, ladies and gentlemen, all of last night. There's a little bit. Big maps. I hope we can see the Alps. Right, about to go right over Munich, München, heading towards Salzburg, over the Alps, and there is our destination. John, is it me, or does Enhanced Skyscapes always put clouds just below you in the cruise? I think it does. And these clouds are very high. You wouldn't typically have a kind of overcast layer like this at 30,000 feet. I think it's just the way it works. It always seems to generate it. I mean, it looks great. Unless it's opposite Cav OK, and it does actually not draw any. Two tons, I noticed we no longer can adjust our mic volumes in X-Pilot. Do we need to adjust on our end to avoid clipping? Is it not working, 2 tons? Have you tried it in the Zebo mod? I mean, the Flight Factor 7.5, I know it's not compatible. Well, maybe it is, it's just not working, and that's it. But I can control... I'm just controlling it externally using the settings in X-Pilot. So yeah, I can control COM1 in the settings, but it's a bit of a pain, you can't use it in the aircraft. Pangolin wants me to put my foot down. Well heard, Chewie, yeah, he's just got up off his bed. Would you like to see Jack again? Oh dear. I still have the peanut butter here. Oh no, I don't, I think I actually put it away. See if he'll come in. Jack!
Direct data, Mike 427,
He's come back. Try and get him up without peanut butter. Right, how do I get the... There we go. Ah, there we go. Oh, he's trying to push set Toka thrust. Oh, he's having a good old sniff at the thrust levers. Good boy. Your breath smells nice.
414, you identified, push direct to gas.
The chief pilot. Hi, chief pilot. Get a bit closer. Who's this here? Look. Here, look. He's reading the chat. Oh, he's looking at the camera. Yeah, what's this? Yeah.
Direct Delta Mike 457 ending.
Now he's giving me a fat kiss. Good boy. Oh, thanks, buddy. Be careful, don't want to do an inadvertent face reveal. No, I've got a moustache at the moment as well. Look at that. So you guys know who Jack is. This was actually a present from my mum a few years ago. This is a painting of Jack, actual painting. How cool is that? Hold on, where's the camera? Oh yeah, I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm actually looking at the stream camera. There you go. How cool is that? Actually him, it's absolutely identical. I need to hang it up at some point. There he is.
Can you please say the direct again to us?
Dock at the cockpit. Yeah, really nice. I know nothing about art. What style is that? I don't know. Put the artist's name. K.A. Someone.
2402, proceed direct Delta Mike 457, expect island 265. Direct Delta Mike 45.
Cool, hi Jack. This is Edo. John Doe, I like cats. Don't buy cats. Oh, actually, hold on. Jack! Oh, he's interested now because I've got no food. If I say the C word in front of him, he goes a little bit crazy. He don't like cats. It's paint style, exactly, Aaron. That's my sort of art. My art knowledge, just so yeah, it's painted. I can tell you what style it is or how. Anti-Nick cats equals Airbus. Pretty much.
Delta Mike 457.
Delta Mike 457, Lufthansa 3
Ah! I think that is... No, that can't be Munich below, it's too small. We are above the town of Rosenheim. There's the Alps. Sim is looking pristine and fresh.
Like 123275, leave before there is everything. Continue descent to reach 210 at Unen and above.
Under 704, expect further climb in 5.
Oh, I timed it badly. I mean, damn it. Unicom, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha Tucson. Over to Unicom. We will have ATC later. There's a VATSIM event going on in Sarajevo this evening. That's why we chose the destination. Ah, yes. A sort of break in the clouds to enjoy the scenery. Look at that. Superb.
Minimums, approaching minimums.
Thank you, Domino Bocina, one of the members of mods. 23 months. Captain, thanks for flying my favourite aircraft ever. The flyings, the Pencil Boeing 757 are absolutely fine, Domino Bocina. It's been a while since we've flown it. Actually, you have to thank whoever it was in chat who was really keen on me flying this aircraft in yesterday's stream. He was like, please take the flight back to 757. I was like, yeah, okay. For me, I've discussed this so many times, but X-Plane with ortho is a lot crisper, I think, than the Bing, whatever the clouds are, the Bing clouds in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It always looks like very blurry for me. The textures are so much clearer. This is zoom level 16. Obviously, know, the only problem is if it's snowy, these will be covered in white this time of year. So it looks like as it is in the summer. Still, it looks amazing. Such a funny looking aeroplane. I prefer the look of the 200. I think the 200 looks a lot cleaner. This is just out of proportion. It looks like the wings are too far back. George, soundboard practice, flight deck to sim getting a job on local radio shortly. I know. I love it. Oh yeah, I don't need to have a break, but I've got a "will be right back" sound as well, so I can do. Where is it? I've linked it with my "will be right back." This one's great. There we go. Josh, how big are all your drives for all that ortho space? So I download ortho on a stream-by-stream basis. I don't actually keep any ortho now. I do actually have a 6 terabyte drive I dedicate mostly now for storage, so I back up. When I download something, I usually back it up so I can access it quickly. So for example, Frankfurt, I didn't download again. It hasn't been updated, so I can just simply drag it off my drive. I have 3 hard drives. 2 gig drive, which is the main drive, which I have all the simulators on, my Windows, everything like that. It's about a quarter full. I have a second drive just for games, which is also 2 gig. That's also an SSD. And then I have a conventional drive, 6 terabyte for the backup stuff. Anthony, is this the pencil sharpener cam? I've upgraded. No longer use stapler or pencil sharpener. I'm on a sellotape reel now. It's my office tool of choice for controlling the camera.
Verkehr, Friese 138 November, Piper 28 VR, Flug nach Zell am See, Rolle zum
I have absolutely no idea what he's saying, so I'm just going to turn it down. It could be extremely rude.
Minimums, approaching minimums.
Welcome back as a member, Ollie Blogs Gamer. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Glad you're enjoying the content again, and you get invited to our members only Discord. Enjoy again using the custom emojis in chat. Catch you later. Thanks, buddy. There's VFR traffic in German. Oh, thank goodness for that. Anthony, unbelievable. He said your wardrobe is lacking stripes. I like my black hoodie. I was very stripy my inaugural Yoke Cam stream. I was wearing the stripiest jumper I own. Wojtek, sorry, holding around 15 minutes already, down to 130 from 190. Is this into Sarajevo? Right, so with that extra fuel we burn, a ton, and these have done 2 tons extra, I think we can comfortably hold for about 30 minutes before we then have to start worrying, so we should be okay. Always taking extra fuel on streams. Let's have a little look at the VATSIM map. Whole of the Adriatic Centre online. There's a very small apron here, they're only going to have about 5 or 6 aircraft. So they have 32 arrivals, not too bad, that's a nice amount. It's not too balmy, 9 departures. And they have ATC wise, they've got approach, ground and tower, that's great. So they should have a lot of capacity. But yeah, I can see 1 aircraft holding, I can see, oh wow, 3 aircraft pretty much side by side, but how is the flight factor 757 at holding? I don't think I've ever had to hold. Oh, I have. I remember doing a stream in the 75 Tafari. Look at that scenery, guys. Yeah, it seemed to be okay. Lauren, have we had a 757 quiz? We have. I've definitely done a 757 quiz, for sure. It's been a long time since we've done a quiz. I think what I'm going to do is jump into Microsoft Flight Simulator for the next stream. I'm very quiet this week, but the last 2 weeks have been very busy outside of work. Not working, flying's quiet, but other things. So I'm going to have a break tomorrow because I've been quite busy setting up the last 2 days of these streams. Thursday. Might do something on the gaming channel. I've completely forgot. I haven't even mentioned it publicly. For those of you who are unaware, I do have a second channel. It used to be called Flight Data Gaming. I've actually rebranded it. It's called Airline Pilot Plays now, because that's my niche. At the end of the day, what makes my channel unique is, as the others are now, you know, I can use my experience to fly flight sim products. There's quite not so many people streaming flight sim stuff, but there's millions and millions and millions and millions of people with gaming channels. So to sort of stand out a bit more from all the others, I've called it Airline Pilot Plays. So yeah, I hope to do another stream on that. City Skylines, I really want to get it started. I've actually downloaded the updated Airports expansion pack. I've pretty much got all the DLC, so I just want to have a bit of a chill stream with you guys, promote the second channel. I've got some one of my mods and members who's doing some upgraded graphics and things for that, so yeah, we're going to do some chill streams there, because I don't do much on that channel at the moment. But yeah, for here I want to do another Microsoft Flight Simulator stream in the CRJ, which would be quite cool. ADS Legends expect to hold over Bosna on approach. Shuey, is there going to be an ETS2 stream soon? Yes, there is, and good news is my save file copied across over, no problem at all. So we've done 10, episode 10 of ETS2 was the last stream, which was about 3 months ago. We can carry on ETS episode 11, and we'll go from there. We still need to do the multiplayer one.
Welcome.
I must apologise to the members, guys. Keep saying, yeah, we'll do some multiplayer streams and stuff. I just never get around. I've been so busy, and this channel, Flight Data Sim, is always the priority. Blockbuster, sorry, previous message from me. Let's have a little read. And how to use them at the right time would also be very nice if you could explain. Even before that, can you explain how a real-world pilot uses charts the right way? Because I couldn't get the information right with all the charts and all the flights where really improvise. So, sounds like you're quite new to using charts there, Blockbuster. I do have dedicated tutorials on how to interpret or how to complete an approach briefing and a SID briefing, which also includes the chart. So the best thing to do is to head over to my main channel, Blockbuster. I mean, if I can pull up a chart, and I always brief charts as I do in real life to you guys. But if you head over to my main channel, I'll find the playlist link to all my 737 tutorials. Yes, it's specific to the 73 because that's what I fly. I do have a dedicated 737 tutorials by a real 73 pilot. Let me just share this one here. Normal procedures. There we are. View this. And you want to be having a look at the SID briefing and the approach briefing tutorials, which includes briefings of the charts. So I'll grab the link for that. Microfish, well remembered. How is Dirk doing in ETS2? We have 3 drivers now, don't we? We have Dirk, a Russian Vladimir. Oh, how do I remember this? Use your brain to remember such stupid things. Nothing important. We had Dirk, Vlad, and who was the other driver? I think we had 3 drivers, or was it just Dirk and Vlad? I can't remember. I thought we had a third. We definitely got 3 trucks and 3 drivers. Well, 3 including me. Vlad the lad, that was it listed. We ended up in Russia, I remember, but because I haven't played it for a while, I think it's rebooted us back to London again. List of it. Wojtek, hold is now minimum 20 minutes. Uh-oh. Well, if the hold is looking like it's long, I mean, there's no ATC at the moment, but usually we're getting ATC shortly. That'll be coordinated with regards to starting to reduce our speed, and then we can enter hold, but I don't want to slow down too much, lose my sequence, so we'll wait until ATC comes online. Actually, guys, I didn't say I was going to have a break. I've been sat here for 2 hours just before we approach Ljubljana. We'll have ATC shortly, so we'll have a quick 2 or 3 minute break. As soon as we're back, I'll carry on the rest of the stream. We'll get the aircraft all set up, ready for the approach. Top of descent is currently 160 miles away. That's perfect. Right, I could do my "we'll be right back" thing now. I'll see you in about 3 minutes, guys. Thanks for that, guys. What's with the crabs? I can actually scroll up and see who started this. I don't understand. It happened yesterday. And on Flight Sim, are we crabbing again, or not this eve? To crab or not to crab? What was this? Who did this yesterday? What is this you crab thing? I don't understand. Well heard, Hal, Vet. Yes, General Kenobi. I'll have to play the stream back from yesterday to see what on earth was going on. Outrageous behaviour. Unbelievable. Right, anyway, we've got traffic ahead. We are now 100 miles from top of descent. Let's start grabbing the charts for Sarajevo. Lima Quebec Sierra Alpha. We'll be flying straight in on the Bosna 1 November. And the approach is going to be ILS 11 Airport. And the parking stands. There we are. What else have we got here? Reference. Arena minimums. Cool. So, Sarajevo, high MSA, nestled in the mountains here, 9,100 feet all the way around. So it's first thing to point out, really. Airport info. Birds. Laftic landing 1-1 when the air temperature exceeds 30 degrees, which we definitely won't be today. There we are. Very small. As good 1-1 as wants to be any use, because if you're landing on 2-9, look, you have to make Charlie or backtrack, which would be cause problems with capacity. So we'll land on 1-1, vacates at the end at 2-9 threshold. So, arrival starting in at Bosna. There we are, Bosna. We're going to go from Bosna to Likvi. Which I don't even see where it is. It's there. It's not even on the arrival chart, I think. Anyway, it says here Bosnia to Likvi, 18 miles. We've got holding here, 32 miles. And also... that's it there, so we might have to hold at this point there. Is that where Likvi is? 7.7 DME? No, we might have to see where they hold us, but the holding's actually 32 miles from Keb, which is Sarajevo, 16.7, so we'll have to do that manually. Otherwise we'll be holding at Norby. Minimum altitude 9,000 feet, all the way to Norby. We can see Bosna, Likvi, 130 above. Norby, where are you? I don't have that arrival. Bosna, Likvi. Did I definitely select the correct arrival earlier? Bosna. I don't have Norby waypoint. I've got Bosna, then Likvi. I think the arrival might, because I put the Bosna transition in, just goes straight to Likvi here. So it's just a straight line, like Bosna to Likvi. Likvi 23 miles. At above 130, that checks 5,400 feet until 16.5. That's the Quebec point. And then it's a bit of an arc. So let's go to the plan page. Here. So let's set the arc, and then that goes towards Rivers. And there's Rivers. Now, I had a problem earlier where if I didn't modify the FMC, it came in far too high. So I'm going to try and compensate that by putting a hard altitude at Rivers at 5,400. Sorry guys, I was just getting a message. So yeah, down to 293 November. Rivers are going to put us a hard altitude. The reason is, I don't know if it's a flight factor thing. I didn't try this earlier, but it just wouldn't accept it. So /5,400. make that a hard altitude, and it. I wouldn't know actually. I'm going to just try it, just sort of show you this. Maybe I'll let Devs know because it just left me very high. VNAV was perfectly on profile, and all of a sudden it put me 4,000 feet high. I was looking at it, and I was turning final. I was at 10,000 feet, and I was thinking, eh? Then VNAV just simply went 10,000 feet high. Oh, sorry, on profile to being like 3,000 or 4,000 feet high. I was like, what are you doing? So we'll try and keep an eye on that. I'll leave it as it is. That's exactly what I expect to have it as, because we don't 5,400 to 4,200. We don't want a level segment. Anyway, that's all set. Then it's to reverse. But yeah, look, all this high terrain around. You've got to stay on this arrival. Don't drift too far east or west. You've got 6,000 feet high point there. Very, very careful onto the ILS then. So frequencies 110.7 goes here. 0.7. Inbound course is 113. 13. Frequencies courses minimum. So you will notice here on this chart there's minimums, and it says missed approach climb gradient if 5%. That's actually quite steep. What missed approach climb gradient is, you've got to ensure that in the event of an engine failure at minimums, and then you go around that, you can safely fly the missed approach. The standard missed approach climb gradient is 2.5% for a 7.3. It's a bit higher here. How do we check it? Well, thankfully OPT will tell you, look, you can put the missed approach climb gradient in, it will tell you what your maximum weight can be to fly that missed approach at that gradient. Now 5% for the 7.3, it's quite powerful. In most cases, even single engine, you'll be able to manage that. If you can't fly 5%, you have to fly this lower climb gradient. That's fine, but it just means your minimums will be higher. You've got to execute the missed approach sooner to be able to be clearable obstacles. So what you'd need to actually check is there should be a separate approach chart. There we are, minimums chart here. So you'll see, look, the main chart's based off 5%, which we'll be able to do, and we'll set 2,243. If you can't do it, there's different climb gradients. So you've got 4%, look how the minimums increase at 2,353. 3% 2,443, and then the standard 2.5% 2,562. So the minimums is nearly 1,000 feet AGL. So getting the latest weather conditions here, we well, no, actually check what the cloud base is. So yeah, it's fine. Sarajevo 10k, scattered at 3,500, overcast at 4,000, QNH is 1012. So I'm happy to set the 5% one anyway, but you always want to make sure you check your performance calculations and you can do it. So 5%, 2243, which is 600 feet AGL. So 2243. We'll go back over here to map. Got this PFD. So minimums. 2243. Frequencies courses minimums are set. You can preset the QNH from Sarajevo as well. That is 1012. 1012. And we are expecting holding, so we don't have to hold here. It'll be at another waypoint. Eventually getting over to the ILS. Rivers are going to be at over 5,400 to final approach fixes at 4,200. That is coded in the FMC as Foxtrot 11. We've just got to put our fixed rings in, so we've got to type this in exactly as it says. Lima Quebec Sierra Alpha 11. Lima Quebec Sierra Alpha 11. We're at 35,000 feet, so top descent's going to be at around 105 miles. 10 mile ring and a 4 mile ring. Latest point which you want to configure. So frequencies, courses, minimums. There is an NDB 405. Someone's knocking. Adriatic Centre.
Adria, radar Dobrovich, Austria 310, climbing through flight level 270.
Austrian 310, just a question, who sent you on my frequency?
Say again, please.
Who sent you on my frequency now?
Vienna departure.
Vienna departure sent you on my frequency.
From?
Roger, thank you. Western 310
Just wondering, where are you?
Proceed direct Bosna, expect holding over Bosna.
So top percent roughly coincides with the ring.
Expect holding over Bosna and the other departure had the frequency 130.45.
Yeah, thank you, no problem.
Lig V, round the ring, if I have to go around.
Alpha 892 is ready for taxi at Ljubljana.
Climbing heading 113 is 6,000.
892, exit holding point, runway 12.
6,000 feet, and then crossing 2,750 feet, make a left turn, track 313. Left track 313 is section 43 from the NDB, then as directed. So, what's quite interesting here is this missed approach is based on the fact that you go around at your minimums. It's actually quite dangerous if you go around, say, like the British Airways did a rejected landing. The missed approach, if you follow that, you're probably going to hit the mountain, because if you climb on runway heading to 6,000 feet, crossing 2,750, by the time you actually cross that height, you'll be over there. The elevation here is 1,700, so it's only 1,000 feet. Maybe, and you wouldn't know this unless you actually contact or have a custom airfield brief. They might have a bulked landing procedure, so this is what happens if you have to go around after minimums, because the missed approach is based off you going around at your minimums point. Just turn the music off here, so check it. So yeah, I have no idea what the bulk landing procedure is. We'll just have to wing it.
Bye.
Centre, good evening. Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, maintaining flight level 350, approaching Pixel.
That was quadruple transmission. Let's go one by one. Oscar, Bravo.
I don't know why controllers say do it one by one. We can't tell that we're all transmitting at the same time. Henry Handel.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. Are you on my frequency?
AFA, maintaining flight level 350, direct to Pixel.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, Roger, proceed direct Bosna, expect holding over Bosna.
Direct to Bosna, expect to hold at Bosna, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. Perfect.
Alpaca 4 Yankee Lima, are you with me?
Bosna, executes.
A-form Alpaca 4 Yankee Lima 1.
And we'll descend at vertical speed if we're expecting holding nice and shallow. Henry,
30,
thank you very much for
10,
joining as a member. Glad you're enjoying it. Members only Discord, join the custom modes and chat as well. Thanks, buddy. Cheers, Anon.
What kind of missed approach flies you into a mountain? That's pretty scary. Crab.
Thanks for all the crab emojis there. Unbelievable. Thank you very much, Anon. Is it so the crabs are doing crabbing? Okay, I think I might get it then. I was just not getting the link. Thank you very much, Anon, for the £5. Yes, it is a bit of a dodgy missed approach, and the missed approach is based on you executing that at your minimums. If that's the case, that's fine. But if you go around below your minimums, they'll be most likely because there's a mountain on the extended sense line. A bulked landing procedure, which probably involves an immediate turn to the left in that case. There we are. Thank you very much for your generosity. So we've got the top descent point coming up. The message comes up quite quickly, or quite early in the 75. Just a performance to do. So we have on board 7 tons. Expect to be landing with 6.4, so only landing about 600. It's going to be less than that. So just conservatively for now, I'm just going to select flap 30. Order brake 2. Worked out nicely earlier. I have no performance or landing performance data. And I just need to select the approach speeds here.
Welcome.
So over to approach, and you can just press set your up speed. What VRF plus 40 is, I don't know what flap setting that is, but your VRF as well. There we are. All good.
Affirmative, KLM 110 Victor, request descent. We are at our minimum speed and we are struggling to keep in the hold.
KLM 110
struggling to hold.
My apologies. Descent now, flight level 230.
It's probably because it's very high.
KLM 110 Victor, correction 250.
Level 250, KLM 110 Victor.
We've come here right
Oscar,
at the
November
rush.
Lima, did you copy my last transmission?
A-firm.
A-firm what?
Hold over Bosnia, flight level 230.
Thank you very much.
Funny.
Alpaca 892 is holding short, runway 12, ready for departure.
Alpaca 892, runway 12, clear for takeoff, wind discount.
Where's he taking off from? Ljubljana, I think it was.
Takeoff 12.
Just past top percent, that's fine. We had to hold anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
Descent flight level 130. 130 Delta. Alpaca 47 Alpha Tango, descent flight level 150.
Miss having the EFIS panel here, so we're paying them to look down.
Lufthansa 8 Kilo Foxtrot, descent flight level 170.
So I need to thrust quickly.
Descent level 170, Lufthansa 8 Kilo Fox.
Lufthansa 369, descent flight level 190.
Down to 190.
Check out, that's fine.
KLM 11 Sierra Victor, for you, descent flight level 210.
Hang on, there's so many incoming alpacas that ground kicked me off the apron. Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha request descent.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, descent flight level 250, enter holding over Boston.
So flight level 250 and we'll enter the hold at Boston, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. So don't want to be in VNAV, we want to be in vertical speed, just doing 1,000 feet per minute. We'll change over to indicated and we're just going to do, you know, 240 knots. Well, not even that, we can just slow right down to 230. There's no point going high and, you know, low and fast towards the hold, you know, just gentle descent. Now VNAV, it's you know, it's based on you going straight in, which isn't the case here, so we're just going to do 1,000 feet per minute. Not much information from ATC in reality. If you were told to hold like this, you'd be told how long to hold for, estimated approach time, expedite descent, you know, they give you a good idea where you are, but, you know, these won't go high, and we'll just carry on descending as it is. So let's hold at Boston.
Descend now, flight level 250, enter holding over Boston.
So I'm going to put the same direction as the hold at 32 miles. It's not quite the same one, but it's easier. So that will be Old Bosna. And that is left hand, so it's non-standard left hand turns. 37, so what's that? 5.4 miles. 5.4, so that is 127 left, and it is 5.4 executes. There we are, holes depicted, and we're good. Fuel wise, we need, I can make a note of my reserves, actually 4 tons to get to Ljubljana, which is Lima Juliet Lima Alpha. Where is Ljubljana? Which is past it. Just quite a long way to divert to. We need 4 tons. I want to leave it for. Leave it a bit more than that. But obviously, we could decide when to commit to use that to get into Sarajevo.
Alpaca 892 is climbing 3,700 force, altitude 6,000 feet, flying runway heading.
Alpaca 892, identified climb flight level 310, proceed direct
4 tons.
Climb flight level 310, proceed direct to Bosnia, Alpaca 892.
Blockbuster, how do you get the right V-speeds if you do it manually? So it's using the FMS, contains all the correct V-speeds based off your gross weight, the same that you'd find in a table. So the ones I selected are based off our current gross weight. By the time we've actually burnt the fuel, we'll be only a knot or 2 below it.
Direct Bosnia, enter holding over Bosnia and flight level 290.
Blockbuster, you just didn't do VNAV because of the holding? Yeah, pretty much. VNAV's going to try and keep us on a profile for a straight-in approach. At the moment it's saying 5,000 feet high, but, you know, I'd rather... if you stay higher longer, you burn less fuel. So we're just trying to be as efficient as possible.
Descent level 310, direct Bosnia, enter holding over Bosnia, Alpaca 4 Yankee.
Ed Matthews, so a back of fact from the wife when she did her alpaca walk. Apparently they have to be walked in order of their ranking in the herd. If they're not in the right spot, they'll let you know about it. Oh really? That's fascinating. Same with Alpaca Airways, you know. I go a bit llama if I'm not number 1 for departure and your head off starts spitting. Greg Scott, deciding descent rate is a dark art for me and I can never get it right. It takes a lot of time and experience, and I'd say in the entire type rating, line training, so when you finish your type rating you start, so something called line training, which is the point at which you fly only with a training captain. It takes about between 60 to 100 sectors. Landing and takeoffs, is a handling exercise, but a lot of time is needed to understand descent planning, where you want to be, what the energy state of the aircraft is, looking at all the different things, and with experience you get better.
Alpaca 47 Alpha Tango, descent flight level 130.
It is a dark art as well, because sometimes you just don't know what you're going to do with you. It's half about guessing. Always, if you're not so sure, be conservative. Don't end up too high. I'm just sort of know that there's about 3 aircraft that are told to hold ahead of us. We've been told to hold, so just 1,000 feet per minute, just above the up speed.
KLM 1 Sierra Victor, flight level 190.
Flight level 190, KLM 110.
If you wouldn't do a holding, you'd just stay in VNAV and all the way down automatically. Yes, if there was no change to the plan, VNAV's a good mode to be in. You better remember that, it's not one mode we stay in. We use the MCP as a toolbox to get the job done. If you're on the magenta line, straight and approach VNAV will keep you where you want to be. If you're getting vectored, VNAV, or if you're not on the magenta line, VNAV is no good. And in this case, because it doesn't understand holds, basically this thinks we're just doing a straight line, straight in, and it's going, oh, you're 7,000 feet high based on that.
Oscar November Lima, just to confirm, flight level 210.
Jazzbab, but you'll be really high. How do you correct that? Yeah, so remember, when we get to Bosnia, we're going to do a 180-degree turn and head away from the airport. That's when we'll start to get back on the road. By staying high longer, I'm burning a lot less fuel.
Austrian 310, descent flight level 250.
Descent flight level 250, Austrian 310.
Gulam, aren't you going to enter the hold a bit high? No, there's no height limit for any hold. You can enter a hold at 38,000 feet.
Yeah, just wanted to confirm the altitude for...
And we're only cleared to descend to 250 anyway, which is only 3,000 feet below us. Got to take that into account too.
Roger 310.
Has thanks to the ATC ever slipped out in real life? No, I don't think I've ever said that.
78, confirm with you, passing level 40 down to 200. Digger with information. Papa.
Western 78, Mike Uniform, contact Adria East 130.550.
Lovely ortho down there. The big map's quite good around this part of the world.
Confirm contact Adria East for Adria 78, Mike Uniform.
Oh, there's a cloud's reload.
Yep.
Yep. Blockbuster, is it true that pilots need to calculate stuff like V-speeds in their head in a few seconds? Not the V-speeds, that comes from a performance calculator. Your final approach speed you might have to quickly calculate based on your headwind component. So it seems to be a bit quiet now. I'll ask the controller if he has an estimated approach time.
Alpaca 4 here, Kilima descent flight level 290.
Oh, it's a cloud, lovely. Emergency eyes on. And Alpaca 750 Alpha entering the hold at Bosnia. I know it's very busy in Sarajevo, but do you have an estimated delay? No.
Station calling Adria, just a call sign, please.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. You won't understand now. You'll be like...
75 Sierra Alpha, well, we try to do it as fast as we can, but you all guys have to understand, in Sarajevo, departure runway is opposite direction, so we have departures and all of you on arrival, so expect at least 20 minutes.
As understood, yeah, it was just a query. Thank you very much for the information. I don't want him to think that. Anyway, 20 minutes. Oh, that's a pain. So you have, yeah, of course. If you have a look here, there is no taxiway to runway 11. So they'll be taking off on the opposite direction of runway 29. That's a real pain. And I should think they're at Bravo. Yeah, that's actually... Sarajevo is not a good airport for an overload. I think it might be longer than 20 minutes.
You are cleared. Degum to Lima.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking off in towards the mounting is frowned upon too as well.
Via
So yeah, landing on takeoff on 29. That's really going to scupper them. Wow. So an airport like this, you just couldn't take this amount of traffic in real life. It'd be impossible. It'd be like this, holding like this.
Call me upon reaching 4,000.
I'll call you upon reaching 4,000.
So next members only group flight. 82 is a hero. He's very chill.
2 tons left on board, and so this bird drinks it all. Lufthansa Echo Sierra, Roger, you are next for transfer to approach.
So having a look here, we're entering the hold on the VATSIM map. There seems to be many aircraft.
I really need to go to the toilet, so I'll be back in 1 minute.
Enjoy. That's amazing. At least he's on it. He just tells him what he has to do. You gotta do what you gotta do. Unbelievable. So, now we are approaching 250, and that's what I was discussing earlier.
Traffic.
That's not annoying. So that is an aircraft at the same height heading straight towards us. That's also not how a TCAS TA would sound. It would just say traffic. Twice. That is not the most annoying thing ever. I might get an RA here. I will get an RA. Ah, there's an RA. But there's no information on the PFD, so in reality, we would disconnect the automation. This might be quite close. That would be an RA. Yeah, good use of the RA emojis, guys. So yeah, that red box would be an RA, and you get it's not modelled, obviously, the 755 modelled it here. Traffic was correct, but it only should say traffic, and then we got the RA, you saw the red box, and then you should get a command descend or climb with a trapezium. So yeah, that would have been an RA in reality, and I would have to disconnect, climb, and descend as per the instruction. It's cool it worked, but it didn't work correctly.
Alpha 47 Alpha Tango, contact Sarajevo radar 119.77.
Yeah, you could argue that the TCAS system correct.
Thank you very much.
Can go in. Does the Seabird correctly model RA? I believe it does. It wasn't the best time for him to go to the toilet getting an RA. Formation holding to promote velocity, absolutely. Actually, let's reassess the fuel situation. 6.5, 4 to divert to Budapest, that's 2.5 tons. And we're burning 4 tons an hour, let's call it. So we've got a little over 30 minutes to hold. All that extra fuel burns taxi in Frankfurt.
Direct to Vrana to holding to Vrana, flight level 310, thank you.
Negative. Enter holding over Vrana, descend to flight level 130.
Save a little bit of fuel.
Descend to flight level 130, sorry.
Yeah, so holding a 250 level with no descent is not a good sign. I also have food arriving in about 25-30 minutes at 9. I'll have to eat it with you guys.
How do we
Gregory, what is an RA? It's a resolution advisory. So it's basically, we got the RA, but not the correct oral command or information on the PFD. It's basically avoiding action commanded by TCAS to either climb or descend to prevent you from hitting an aeroplane. Yeah, listen, I might look into that. Takeaway cab. Lauren, too bad you don't have a tray table for your dinner. Should have flown Airbus. Unbelievable. Burger and chips. Sure, there's a really nice burger joint here. They do like proper burgers. Thick patty, bacon. You can have like pineapple in it if you want, and all sorts. Well, not that I'd ever have a pineapple in a burger. And with piri piri fries. Oh, I'm actually making my mouth My mouth water now. I'm gonna have another RA here. Now that's gone solid. That's proximate traffic. I might tell the ATC controller because I just want to hear what he says. Radar Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. We're level at 250, and I think there's an aircraft holding at the exact same level just ahead of me.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, stand by, let me check.
Is he looking at his radar?
Lufthansa 3960 descent to flight level 170. Is Instructor.
Lufthansa 369 is at flight level 170.
Uh-oh, he's got a little confused with the traffic, I think. So yeah, you can't hold anywhere in the hold with an aircraft at the same level, obviously. So he's in the hold with us.
310.
Paul Hamilton, you wear striped jumpers, so why not pineapple? He's trying to work out, I think, what's going on here. But yeah, we are holding at the same level as another aircraft. Back into...
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, heading 360.
Heading 360, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. I hope that's vectors. Unfortunately, it's the wrong way, so it's not a good sign.
Sierra with you, flight level 350, 15 nautical miles from Basna.
Anyone back to Frankfurt? Oh dear. John, you got to declare, lovely.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, I don't know how, but somehow you drop out from my holding list, and that's the reason why this happened. My apologies.
Oh, no problem. I'll just maintain heading north for now. Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, you can return to holding as you wish. I will load down the other airplane.
Roger, entry holder, Boston Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha.
Lufthansa 8 Kilo Foxtrot, descent flight level 1.
This is a pain. So you should, if I bring Boston to the top again, doesn't like that, that's a bit buggy. It should bring that to a top, so I might have to do a bit of jigging here. So what I'm going to do is just sort of turn the aircraft myself here. So it should be able to line select keep Boston to the top, and it will bring the hold down one, but it's not to be working. So what I'm going to do is delete. It's not liking that either. That should delete it.
At the radar, hello, good evening.
What waypoint's near Boston?
Tango Hotel level 370 at 1 Margam.
Lufthansa Tango Hotel Alpha, standby please. I'll call you back.
So what I'm just going to do is sort of BK402. Let's put that in.
Descent flight level 210.
Descent level 210, you sent 100.
So just, nah, it's bugged. That doesn't work. It just won't get rid of the hold.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, descent flight level 230.
75 level 230, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. This is bugged to hell.
Adria,
it's not working as it should at all. Execute is completely broken.
Uniform.
Right, let's descend. We can do it manually if we have to.
Okay, from Adria, sir. Thank you.
Adria 78, Mike Uniform, runway 30, clear to land.
Yeah, look, why is it not getting rid of the hold? Look, you should be able to select any waypoint. No, live key, and it's just leaving the hold in, execute, it's bugged. Right, that's not working as it should at all. So let me try and exit hold, exit arms, yeah. I can't, because I'm not in the hold. It does
Sierra identified, proceed, expose, enter holding over.
It's not how it should work, and it's very similar to the 73. I can't even bring a waypoint there, it just stays, execute. It's like the hold is stuck. I can't get rid of the hold. It's broken. Use direct intercept. Good idea actually, let's try that. Okay, that actually works. Now let's go to Boston. It could be a 7.5 thing, I don't know, but I quite like to think it wouldn't. So let's do execute L now.
Alpaca 8, 9F2. Maintain flight level 310 for now.
It's flight level 310, Alpaca 892.
It could be a 7.5 thing. Maybe it's the only way it is, but I find it very surprising that on the legs page you can't actually get rid of a hold. And it can't be that different. I mean, it definitely works at the 7.3, guys. Anyway, Bosna... was it 127 right? And we said 5.4 mile legs. Execute. That's better. Looks like we're back in business. Ooh, hold right though. I want to hold left. There we go. Perfect. Blame it on Jim. Thanks, guys. I noticed. Switch it off and on again. Yeah, I'm pretty certain in the 7.5, you know, if I go to the legs page here, I should be able to line select key waypoint after that, and it should delete the hold when it does it in the 7.3 FMS. That direct 2 thing worked though. So it'll be a direct entry, left turns back again over Bosna. I think he was just getting us out of the hole just to make some space. Again, fuel wise, 6.1s, we've got an extra 2 tons to play with. So again, about 30 minutes or so. Good job, chat. I know, absolutely. That was great input there. You are literally the eyes and ears of the operation. Amazing. So if you have just joined in, guys, we are entering the hold again at Bosna. Very busy in Sarajevo. Fortunately, the airport, didn't really think about the planning stage of the stream. It could only accept landings on runway 11 with the wind today, and departures are on 29, so being a VATSIM event, plus we're going in as well, I think we probably bought a good dozen aircraft. I was told delay of 20 minutes, I should think it's going to be more than that. So, we'll do one of 2 things. As it gets to around 4 tons of fuel, as it gets around 4 tons of fuel, we'll make a decision whether you guys want me to divert to Budapest, our alternate, or we log off a line and land in Sarajevo. And the realistic one would be to divert, but obviously it's unrealistic holding or having this amount of traffic in such a small airport. Now looking here, Sarajevo currently has 24 arrivals. And there are aircraft on the approach, but there's also a few aircraft departing as well.
You just came to my frequency grey, so on my screen grey. Let me just see where you. Just a second.
We'll do a poll, of course. Oh yeah, sorry, Dubrovnik. Sorry, yeah, go to Dubrovnik, Lauren. Yeah, Budapest I planned as my alternate. We'll go to Dubrovnik instead. But I might go to Budapest if it's a bit closer. Or Belgrade's not too far away. You can change alternates, you don't have to go to your planned alternate. I mean, we have 4 on our flight plan. So, looking at the map, Ljubljana's a bit of a trek. We could probably divert somewhere a little bit closer if we do decide or poll to divert. Let's have a look here. So Sarajevo, we could go to Split. Dubrovnik's not that far away, is it? It was definitely Dubrovnik.
8 Kilo Foxtrot, contact Sarajevo radar 197.
So Dubrovnik's actually not as far away as I thought it was.
197.
Divert's the best nightlife. Absolutely. Yeah, there's nowhere really that's closer. I mean, Belgrade's actually slightly further, so you probably should just stick with Dubrovnik, which is Lima Delta Uniform. Just checking the weather at
Radar Lufthansa 9 Tango Hotel. We passed our top of descent. How about the descent? Are we checked in at your radar?
I'm not going to Dubrovnik. Gusting 44 knots, crosswind. No, Dubrovnik is not a good alternate. My goodness, that's why we plan at the planning stage alternates, and I wouldn't take. We can't land in Dubrovnik. It's a 44 knot crosswind right now. With the gust. Yeah, 03027 gusting 44. Dubrovnik is not good. It's actually really bad. Definitely Dubrovnik now. Ljubljana. Yeah, but the thing is, I haven't planned for Ljubljana. It's a little bit too far away. What's the code for Ljubljana again?
KLM 11 Sierra Victor descent flight level 1.
Too far away, I think.
10.
Descent flight level 110, KLM 110, Victor.
I don't think we're going to get in.
KLM 11 Sierra Victor, my apologies. Flight level is 130.
Level 130, KLM 110, Victor.
On route map.
KLM 11 Sierra Victor and contact Sarajevo radar on frequency 119.77. Bye bye.
119.75, KLM 110, Victor.
Lima, Quebec 2, Tango Zulu to the north. What's that? That's also in Bosnia. 44 knots, a little breeze, unbelievable. Belgrade seems calm and cab okay. A little bit too far away. I just don't think I've got enough fuel to get there. We have an airport called Tuzla, which has ILS. That's in Bosnia, in Herzegovina. Tuzla, which is actually very close. Just check the weather there. Oh no, apparently Tuzla's in... Oh no, Tuzla International Airport. There we go. So Tuzla International Airport, that's available. Wind there is perfect. It's 900 metres freezing fog. Great. What's the minimum RVR for that approach? 550 metres. Okay. We could go to Tuzla, but it's low visibility there. See, when I stream I don't really do much. I just use the default alternate. In reality we have to check all the alternates carefully. And the two I've looked at are not great. Too windy in Dubrovnik, and Tuzla is low visibility and freezing fog. Go to Split. Split's not too far away. What's the code for Split? Lima Delta Sierra Papa, I think. Let's have a look at the weather in Split. Because we, you know, it's very quiet here, but we're not getting any information about it. We're told 20 minutes, but I think that is not accurate. Let's have a look at Split. Code Lima Delta Sierra Papa, Split, Croatia. Weather's Cav OK, 3009, that's perfect. Split is a suitable alternate. So, distance-wise, it's about the same. So I'd go to Split. Lima Delta Sierra Papa, let's see how far where we are.
Oscar November Lima, are you with me? Stay firm.
So holding here from Split, we're only 84 miles away. So we'd be fine. And I'd use the alternate fuel to dive there, so 4 tons. Yeah, our fin res. So a lot of fuel there to actually get to Ljubljana. Lima Delta uniform.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, descent flight level 190.
50.
Descent flight level 190, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha.
10.
Ocean 310, descent flight level 210.
Speeds.
Descent flight level 210.
I used to pronounce Ljubljana Ljububajuania.
Minimums.
Alpaca 290 Charlie, descent flight
Thanks,
level
Noah.
230.
Ljubljana was pronounced Ljububajuana. Brilliant, that's very kind. Thank you very much, Noah, for your continued support. Great pronunciation. Really appreciate it, buddy. We might get in. I mean, we'll just see how we progress there, but I'm just trying to remember my splits and my Ljubljanas and my alternates will look up. So for Dubrovnik, I haven't actually checked the weather at our... Oh yeah, no, we did. Obviously Dubrovnik was the first one we checked. It's way too windy. So I'm just having a look distance-wise where Dubrovnik is in relation to other airports like Split. Sick weather charts here. Don't want those on. There we go. So yeah, okay. Dubrovnik's the closest. Split's a little bit further, but from our position, it wouldn't take too long to divert. So if we're still holding here, what I'll say is, look, when we get to 4 tons, we'll divert to Split, which is our reserves to Dubrovnik, because we're not doing any missed approaches, it will be enough. So we'll say Split's the alternate.
30.
Ready to descend to...
So we'll go to Croatia if we have to divert. The weather's there, that's good. This is a decision we'd make in real life if we have all the weather.
Cap FUCA, crab, on arrival it's mine. She shot out the cockpit when Jim opened the door. Can you grab her please? She's my good crab. Fun times in Holland.
Unbelievable. I just... I don't know what to say. Thank you very much, Ada Adon, for your crab-related donation. Again, what is going on? I'm just a bit... I don't understand this whole crab thing. I think, was it Will said yesterday? I was looking through it. Will said crab yesterday. Everyone started putting crabs, but I don't know why he said crab. I don't know. We'll be definitely crabbing if we divert to Dubrovnik, that's for sure. Thanks. Chaos is here, yeah. Aaron thought to press the Lufthansa of 100 kilos of fuel. I missed that. If we do divert Split, I've got no scenery installed, just default. We are descending down to 190. Descend flight level 170, back at 750 Alpha. 170 check, so yeah, say 4 turns to divert, we've got 1.5 to burn. Fuel. Burning 2.4 an hour there, so yeah. I mean, I'm obviously descending here, so that fuel, but it's about 25-30 minutes left, guys. Getting dizzy in the hold again. If we go to Split, thanks to the runway information, we've got a look there. Anyway, let's get a rough idea of what you'd like us to do. I think we're happy with Split as the alternate. Weather-wise, check the weather, and that's all good. We obviously wish that was on the flight plans. We knew exactly how much fuel we need, but 4 tons is fine. Thank you very much to Randall Northcraft. Has just joined as a member. Glad you enjoy the content. You get invited to our members-only Discord. Hope you enjoy using the customary emojis chat. Thank you very much for the support. Right. So, poll time. Where's my poll? Create a poll. Okay. So, offline and land in Sarajevo. Let's try and spell it correctly first. Don't want to put that incorrectly. Embarrassing. Sarajevo. Or divert to Split. I mean, this is the option if we get to that decision. My intention is still to land in Sarajevo, but if we get to the point where we get low on fuel, or our alternate fuel, you can decide. So it's either land
Alpaca 4 Charlie Delta
in Sarajevo, divert to Split. There we go. And we'll keep that running until we get to the 4 tons of fuel. But you know, I'm trying to run the streams as realistically as possible. So yeah, make a bit of interactive. The decisions we make are based on live weather conditions right now. Obviously, in reality, we would be holding like this, as we mentioned. The amount of traffic going into Sarajevo is completely unrealistic. So it's what we're having to hold. But let's say, for example, I don't know, runway was the weather was an issue in Sarajevo. This is the sort of what decision we'd be making at this time. We'd be looking at how much fuel we have. We've got the engine instruments down there. How much fuel we have, what the alternates available are around us, and if they're suitable. So we've looked at several airports. We've looked at Dubrovnik, which is our planned alternate, but the crosswind's in excess of 30 knots. That's not good. We have what was the other one we looked at? There was another one in Bosnia, but it was low visibility, 900 meters. And Split is also not too far away, but it's nice weather there. Winds from the northwest, Cav OK, 5 degrees, 1012. So that's the you want to have an alternate, which is a banker, you know, that I can get into. And then yeah, you always want to have a backup plan at all times, even if you're sure you want to go and you want to know, right, I can't get in, what we're going to do. Go for a decision making process, and then decide your plan of action. You want to know what your decisions are. 50-50 vote. is a split. See what you did there. Daniel, would we do our nav visual 2-3 split? Sure. You wouldn't aim to do the most challenging approach, but let's have a little look at split. It'll be runway 23 in use. Have I done a stream into splits? I don't know. Oh, it's only visual approaches. Great. I could probably land off 05 a tailwind though. So we've got ILS Yankee. I'd probably do ILS
Oscar November Lima, descent flight level
Zulu 05.
Flight level 110, Oscar November Lima. Oscar November Lima, expect transfer to approach in a few minutes.
And then there is VOR Bravo prescribed tracks as well.
0 trans 102, flight level 130. 130, 102.
Well, it's not.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, flight level 150.
Descent flight level 150, Alpaca 75 Alpha. 150
Ocean 310, flight level 170.
I'm going to get my food in a second.
Flight level 170.
I mean, this stream, I thought, oh right, hour 20 minutes flight time. Might be a bit busy, so about 45 minutes to get airborne and then straight in. I'll be all done at about 8:30, ready for my food at 9.
Alpaca 4 Yankee Lima, continue descent flight level 210.
I think we might get it. We might still get in, guys.
Continue descent 210, Alpaca 4 Yankee Lima.
I might do the RNAV visual for 2-3 without actually having a look at it first. So you've got to be at 3,000 per annum. Can I declare low fuel and get priority? Not at the moment, we don't have low enough fuel. But this sort of situation you wouldn't do unless you had no choice.
Lufthansa 9 Tango Hotel, descent flight level 250. Lufthansa 9 Tango.
Going strong, thanks for 27 months to member, crazy amount of time. Using my free message to say keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Craig. Appreciate it, buddy. Doing my best. How many times have we been around the hole? I've lost track now. We've been holding for about 30 minutes, surely. There's our little radar vectored approach, but there we are.
Echo
1, 2, 3, 4.
Identified. Turn right heading 020.
Okay. So there's one aircraft on the approach there. Okay. I wonder where I am in relation. I'm quietly confident, but we've still got a lot of fuel. And we are getting continuous step descent, so you know it just depends if there's a lot of departures. It's the departures which is causing the problem. So looking at down there in Ljubljana, I can't actually see any aircraft departing at the moment, so that is good. So they can get a lot of arrivals in. Paul, log off land, have your dinner, I like you. Checked.
2905, stand by, I'm coordinating with approach.
Hi David Vigrant, I've like just started my HPLs, fantastic news, best of luck sir. Raptos pad. 750 Alpha, minimum food, request diversion for dinner, love it.
15295, contact Sarajevo approach 19775, bye bye.
So there's an aircraft there in the hold there, but I want to know how many other aircraft are in the hold.
119.770, thank you.
So I'm at 14,000. So I'm looking at the hold here. I think we're like number 2 and number 3 to get peeled off the approach. No, my commitment's to you guys. I might just have to eat it here. That's all. Oh dear. Do I land or divert? That's the question. Pat, when does the low fuel call happen? So you have 3 sort of levels of commitment. You basically, if you see there's a delay, you get something called an estimated approach time to see what time you'll actually have to, or what time you expect the approach to be flown. That's for an estimated approach time. It's usually quite accurate from ATC. Oh God, I just realised that GNC ice is off. If it gets to the point where you're approaching the field where you need to divert, or you're in the hold and you're approaching your reserves. You have to decide whether to commit to your destination or divert. And you can use your diversion fuel to commit to land at your destination, but you've got to be pretty certain of a landing. Depends on what you're holding for. Now, if all that has failed, and it looks like you're approaching your final reserve, so landing with less than 30 minutes, there is a call, which isn't a mayday or an emergency, it's called minimum fuel call. So it's just something like Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, minimum fuel. And that just advises ATC, doesn't really allow them to do much. It just tells them, look, if there's any further delay, it could potentially evolve into a mayday. Now, you make the mayday fuel call, so that would be mayday, 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 Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha fuel, and that tells ATC that you're landing with, you anticipate landing with less than 30 minutes of fuel remaining, which is, when you do the mayday call, gives a lot more flexibility to ATC. You're given priority to get you on the ground straight away, but that's quite a serious call. You don't just make that for fun. A lot of investigation involved if you ever make that call. All liking the dramatic music. Liam, 28 months member, thank you so much, buddy. Should I stay or should I go now? I can't play that, I'll get a copyright strike. Christian, thanks for 10 months. My answer is B, divert. Brilliant. This aircraft holding, I think we're number 2. I think this aircraft below us is getting peeled off next, and we're next after that. How long have we been in the hole, guys? I've lost count. I think over 30 minutes now. I nearly only took extra 30 minutes of fuel. I just went, oh, I'll take an hour. Oh, I'll keep the engine MTIs on as well. Here we are in the pencil though, holding beautifully. It's got very quiet on ATC. Yep, we're still all tuned in.
02102, descent flight to level 1.
24 MOOP 1, how much fuel do we have? 5 tons.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, flight level 130.
Descent flight level 130, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. That's my food. Back in a second, guys.
Down to flight level 15.
As quick as I can.
Down to flight level 15
Sierra
Austin 310.
Entry radar, WH, beeline 3353 at flight level 350.
Beeline 3353, area radar, WH, identified. Proceed direct Sierra Alpha Lima for Sierra Alpha Lima 1 Zulu, arrival ILS 05.
Proceed direct Sierra Alpha Lima for the Sierra Alpha Lima 1 Zulu, arrival ILS 05, beeline 3353.
Alpaca 29 Charlie, descent flight level 170.
170, Alpaca 29 Charlie.
Alpaca 4 Yankee Lima, flight level 190.
Flight level 190, Alpaca 4 Yankee Lima.
Lufthansa 01 Sierra, flight level 210.
Did AC actually call? Are you pulling my leg? Seeing it's...
Lufthansa 9 Tango Hotel, flight level 230.
Listen to me, I know you are a bit of a joker. Or was that actually me?
Lufthansa 9 Tango Hotel, flight level 230.
I'll grab the food in a second. I've just literally put it in the corner of the office here. Yolk can with burger hand. I'll show you the burger in a second.
Andrea, good evening. Golf 104 Delta, flight level 410, inbound.
Thanks, Darren, I've seen it.
Golf 104 Delta, the radar WH identified, continue direct Sierra Alpha Lima, expect Sierra Alpha Lima 1 Zulu, arrival for ILS 05.
Continue to
oh, pretty good. No, you're good. Thanks, guys. You're always a few pranksters.
ILS runway 05, Golf 104 Delta.
Ah, look, so ILS 05 in split.
Echo Alpha Romeo, direct Exxon for ILS 04.
Roger, direct Exxon.
Yeah, don't worry, when I'm taking some bites, you won't. You'll have the mic muted.
Ajde, dobro, može 21 ide.
Presmo Gaming, why are you holding? It is ridiculously busy in Sarajevo. Now level at 130. So the elevation 1,700 feet, so we're about 11,000 feet above the ground here. I haven't actually seen the other aircraft in the hold. I mean, it's not super busy in the hold. Look, we're here. There's a few aircraft enter, and I think they're all above us. And there's the aircraft on the approach. I don't like where Alpaca 892 is. He used to be getting vectored around here. Yaroslav, does anyone know why we can't file a flight plan from the client anymore? I never file it for that. I always use SimBrief. It's just easier. I didn't realise you can't do it anymore. It was with VFR. I'd be quite happy to be able to do that. OPS has dropped off a little bit. Oh no, 60. It just felt like it was. It's all good.
Line 3353, request descent.
So how's the poll going? The poll is divert split. That will be the right way.
Direct commits, descend, flight level 130, beeline 3353.
So I've just grabbed that food. Jack seems to have conveniently followed me here. You ready, guys? First of a time, burger cam. Look at that. Oh. Peri fries, just 2 thick patties, just simple. Just give me 30 seconds.
Tango Hotel, descending level 230.
I don't know where to put it though.
Okay, alright,
I've got a yoke in the way. I can't put it down anywhere. Sorry, I'm stuffing my face. I mean, I was meant to be chilling on the sofa now, but we will get this airplane on the ground somehow.
Lufthansa 6 Bravo, Kilo, heavy, proceeding direct to Bosnia, expecting holding over Bosnia.
I just had to, I bet everyone's really hungry now.
Roger.
Wow, this has been a long hold. I was not expecting this in the plan this trip. But to be fair, I didn't really think of the limitations of Sarajevo. It is a really tricky airport to get in and out of. Yeah, what I need is the Airbus meal table. Oh my goodness, we need the tray table so much. Oh my goodness, that is actually so nice.
Eurotrans 102, it's your lucky moment, contact
Bloodline to
Sarajevo 119.
Bloodline, declare a fuel emergency. Not quite there yet. Nowhere near having to do that. Well, at least, endurance-wise, we're sat here quite comfortably at 130. 4 tons an hour, and we've got 4.6, so our endurance is about an hour 50.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, Sarajevo 119F775.
119er775, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. Thanks so much, JTC. Have a great evening. Bye.
You too. Thank you for the flight. Bye bye.
That's really interesting. Why will that not let me set?
Roger, 255, establish at localizer, runway 11.
Roger, 255, wind 030 degrees.
Yeah, my radio channel panel wouldn't let me set 119. Let's go for 118.
Heading 145, clear diamond.
Number Lima, start reducing speed 16.
Meal reviews. New leech Liam. It's really hard to eat a burger. Sarajevo approach, very good evening. Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. We're currently holding at Bosnia, flight level 130.
Alpaca 750 Alpha Sarah Radar, hello, good evening to as well, radar contact 130. It's 20 few moments, so we have traffic just below you, but you can start leaving the hold now, left heading 180.
Heading 180 degrees, maintain 130 for now, Alpaca 750 Alpha. So heading select. We're out the hole, guys, so I think we're going to get in.
Stop orbit, Mirza, it's Eurotrans 102, flight level 110, and holding over at
Just to make you jealous again, guys. I don't usually do a 944, it's just a bit easier.
Eurotrans 102, stop slowly, descent 9,000 feet, QNH 1012, and heading 150.
Correct, and Alpaca 750 Alpha, start descent flight level 110.
Uh-oh. Same flight level 110, Alpaca 750 Alpha. I wonder if you noticed I got mouthful of food.
For the cooperation, contact tower frequencies 118.25.
118.250, Oscar November.
Speed.
Thank you for the excellent service, bud.
You as well, and Alpaca 1892, speed 180.
Cool.
Speed 180 knots, Alpaca 892.
Bloodline, you eat your burgers with a spoon. Impressive. Right, top of descent. We've got 50 miles to run. We're a little bit below that, so that's fine. We'll just do a nice shallow descent. Look at the terrain around here. Beautiful.
Alpaca 892, left 145, clear the ILS 11.
Heading 145.
But guys, if you've enjoyed chilling out with me in the stream, watching me eat my burger, chips, Jack Cab, flying at 757, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button as well. We've got 380 likes, which is a good amount. Don't think we'll get 757, it's a bit ambitious, we need a longer stream for that. But no, thank you very much, appreciate it. It does help the channel out a lot. Sorry guys, I'll never do this again, it's just that this stream is overrun massively. But yeah, it's important, the burger's so thick. Flight acting grill, unbelievable. Bollocks. Oh, excuse it. Just dropped it on the floor, I didn't mean to say that.
Eurotrans 102, right turn heading 15.
No, that came out naturally.
Right heading 150, 102.
Didn't mean to say that. Ah.
Alpaca 750 Alpha, left heading 140.
Left heading 140 degrees, Alpaca 750 Alpha. What has happened to this channel?
Alpaca 892, speed 160 knots, contact tower frequency 118.250. Thank you for the cooperation, bye.
Was that for Alpaca 892?
Sorry guys.
892, confirm speed 160,
That's it, I'll have a little break now.
Tower 118.250.
So, on initial vector, we're below 10,000 feet below AGL, because the elevation here is, what is it, it's 1,700 feet. So we'll do the post-cruise checks now. Fuel 4.4, we're getting close to our diversion fuel now, so I'm sort of going to be committing to Sarajevo here. So fuel lights, APU, that's fine. Pressurization is all set.
Eurotrans 102, I just need to see the
No smoking seatbelts on.
So you
All checks
can
complete.
increase the speed if you would like to 70 knots for the sequence.
Off the rails. Yeah, sorry about that. I dropped it on the floor. Jack's already had it.
Confirm 270 knots.
Someone coming in behind this guy here. He's only 10 miles ahead though. I think they're doing a great job of saying, I agree, Juice. You think how limiting this airport is.
Alpaca 750 Alpha, speed 250 knots.
Speed 250 knots, Alpaca 750 Alpha. Right, so wants to speed up, that's fine.
750 Alpha, descend now 9,1012.
It's a 9,000 feet QNH 1012, Alpaca 750 Alpha. So 9,000 feet set, vertical speed. And set QNH 1012. Passing 10,900, 9,000 feet, and standby altimeter is set. I'm going to go direct to 293 November. execute. Got about 30 miles to run, about 9,000, 10.7 with the elevation. Our height is perfect. Just going to go to flight level change now. Ooh.
750 Alpha, disregard.
Oh, perfect. I think he accidentally dinged me. Cool. I can't get Jack Cam because he's laying on the floor by the burger.
Your chance 103, right by 10, please.
Yeah, this is good. Here's VNav, I don't trust.
Alpaca 750 Alpha, descend 7,000 and start reducing speed 210 knots when in.
Descend 7,000 feet and reduce speed 210 knots, Alpaca 750 Alpha. So above 214, which is our up speed. Yeah, I just don't trust that VNav. 1,200 feet high. We are 25 miles to run, so we want to be at 7.5. Take the elevation into account, 8.5. Want to be at about 9,000 feet, which is... yeah, we're at 1,000 feet high. Actually, might not be too far off. But, it's getting away from us. Well, this height feels about right. So 8,000 feet at this point, yeah. I'm happy with the profile. Beautiful scenery, yep, this is all Ortho 4XP.
Again, please.
Oh, it's so quiet here.
310, left turn heading 150.
Look at
Left
that.
turn heading 150, Austin 310.
That's zoom level 16 this time, 17 around the airport.
180 knots, clear ILS 11.
So we're gonna...
02, speed
214 is fine.
cleared ILS 11.
Alpaca 750 Alpha, when able, reduce speed 180.
Reduce speed 180 knots, Alpaca 750 Alpha. So we're going to speed checks. And flap 1. There's the balloon from the flaps, same as the 7.3 actually. Just going to use VS to sort of force it down to stay on the glide slope. So yeah, look, the VNav's not right. It says 1,900 feet high, but we're bang on the glide slope, and they're all at or above restrictions at 4,200, so it should be showing on profile. Flaps to 5. 180. So my speed brake wasn't working, so I'm actually using a numpad. Just going to help ATC by bringing the speed back in.
130,
It is 972, climb flight level 160.
Ooh, started raining.
Flight level 160, degrees 772.
Oh, it's doing this thing with the chair, right. So you see this, there's a bit of a bug look. When I move the camera, it thinks I'm in the chair, and I can't move my... look, my camera's now stuck. I can't actually look at the overhead panel at all. It's like a weird bug with the seat.
Speed 180 onto 4 miles final, contact tower 118-250.
Engine anti-ice. Was that for me?
Alpaca 750 Alpha, right turn heading 210.
Riding 210 degrees, Alpaca 750 Alpha. That's a sort of delayed, just an interesting turn. So just reduce that vertical speed loads. Speed brake out. So yeah, VNav showing us high, but we're very, happy with where we are.
Direct to Ozak, Air Greece 72.
Ozarks?
That's correct, and there was no need to disconnect because I actually had a departure slot for you 3 minutes. You should just have been waiting 3 minutes. It was a very nice gap, but
Oh.
I'm sorry, but I had set 10 minutes, and that's the way, the reason I disconnect. 3 minutes is not a long time. Thank you very much.
Okay, I will talk with the guys down there. Nevertheless, Alpaca 750 Alpha, heading 145, clear out.
Heading 145 degrees, Alpaca 750 Alpha, doing a great job, guys. Right, heading 145, and a little bit late for that turn, but that's not his fault because that guy was having a good old chin wag, and we'll arm Vorlock. We've got lock capture.
Austin 310, left heading 1.
So it's just going to be a shot, but that was no fault of the controller or myself, it was just a bit of a chat, and cleared approach. We can just use vertical speed now to stay on the glide slope. That's what I love about the 7.5, just jump in it, flight like a 7.3. It's wonderful. Glide slope capture and misapproach altitude.
And fly heading 150.
6,000
That's flight level 110 and fly heading 150 Alpaca Juliana Charlie.
Yeah. FMC message. Insufficient fuel. We've got enough. 4 tons. I wouldn't want to divert with this though. It'd be a bit tight. If we diverted out, it'd be very tight getting in. I'm going to go to flaps 50.
I'm sorry, 1012,
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha fully established.
Back to ADDRIA radar on 130.450. Bye bye.
Contacting Adria radar, thank you very much for ADC reconnaissance.
Thank you.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha fully established.
75 Sierra Alpha, many thanks for flying and helping us bring in the crowd. Contact tower on 118.250.
Tower 18250, event was amazing. Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, bye.
Thank you, I haven't been online for half a year. Like,
Oh.
pretty okay.
It doesn't tell it all, buddy, but cheers.
Sure.
Awesome. Yeah, it's been great. It's been very busy, but with the amount of traffic and the limitations of the airport, we had the poll because obviously we managed to get in. It's been superb. FMC message again. Yes, insufficient fuel. Maybe we've got enough fuel. That shouldn't be coming up. Tower, good evening. Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha established on ILS Zulu. What's the runway again?
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, good evening, Sarajevo Tower. Number 2, continue approach, winds 300 degrees, 6 knots.
Continue approach Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. I had the different chart up. I still had the split chart up, so I nearly said ILS 05. And I was like, oh no, what actually is the runway I'm on? Oh dear. Right, let's arm the speed brake now, because it's a bit fiddly. There we are, that's armed. Yeah. Well, I did invest in yoke cam for you guys not to enjoy it. We disconnect the auto throttle. And disconnect the autopilot. There we are, my aeroplane. We're about 7 miles here, I'll configure shortly. Runway 6, runway 18, unbelievable. Oh, it's coming up with that FMC message, insufficient fuel again, we're fine. We've got enough to divert still. Right, so, gear down, flaps to 20. And I'm just going to buck the final approach speed straight away, and then landing checklist, star switches, recall, we know about the FMC message. Speed brake is armed, landing gear 3 green, auto brake set to 2, and just waiting for flaps. Flaps 25 initially. And flap 30. Take the engine anti-ice off.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha.
Go ahead.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, runway 11, clear to land, orange length located Bravo.
Alright, 11 cleared to land, we'll vacate at Bravo, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. So, flap 30, there's no lights to check, we've got 9 knot tailwinds.
Contact ground on 121.9.
Vacate at Bravo. Right, let's just crank up the auto brake to 4.
Ground 121.
I'm sure that's probably more than enough, but not so sure. We'll do our best to help out ATC. There we are, checks complete.
1,000.
Checked. Speed's a little bit high. We've got a tailwind here of 9 knots, that's fine, it's in limits. 10 knots is usually the maximum we can accept. You can see, look, our ground speed 156 knots, quite quick. So that's why I've just got to auto brake 4, and we'll go max reverse. Oh man, I want another bite of my burger! It's going to be cold! Looking good. The 7.5 handles really nicely, the flight factor. It does feel good. So fully stable at 500 feet above the ground.
500.
A little bit high there, so just a little bit of a correction. No more than 1,000 feet per minute. It's a bit excessive.
Terrain.
That's a terrain caution.
Minimums.
Continue. Oh, look, got myself a little bit high, but that's okay. 3 whites is okay. There we are, back on the pappies. descending now.
100. 50.
Rate of descent's quite high.
20. 10.
Yeah, hold it off. Whoa, keep the wings level. Come on, need to get it down. Oh no! Speed breaks up. Reverses. Got to make this Bravo. Manual braking. It will make it. 80 knots. 60 knots. And idle. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Oh, there's a Ryanair 737. Oh, what a troll. It's always some idiot. Unbelievable. Well, he'll get banned off the network if he carries on behaving like that. There we are, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sarajevo for the first ever time. I forgot how long we are.
Sierra Alpha, welcome to Sarajevo. Contact Sarajevo ground on 1.9. Thanks for flying, goodbye, and I hope you had a nice stream.
121.9, thank you so much for the ATC Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, bye. But I forgot to mention the Ryanair spawning all over the place. We might be heading quickly offline here, guys. There we are. Over to ground. Flat. Aeroplanes everywhere. I think he's just taxiing out. And, such a narrow taxiway here. Let me just do that. Over to ground. There we go. Sarajevo ground. Hello. Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha.
Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha, welcome to Sarajevo. Taxi straight ahead onto Alpha Stand 7.
Alpha Stand 7, Alpaca 75 Sierra Alpha. Thank you very much. Perfect.
101 Hotel, push and start approved onto Alpha facing southeast, QNH 1012.
Excellent, so we got in. Stand 7 will be the one right at the end there. We'll get the APU up and running. There we are. I've got yoke campers on. I'm desperate to have another bite of my burger. What a lovely flight. I'm quite surprised we actually got in. Now, I think, unfortunately, Stand 7, yeah, it's got a static model on. So what I might do is just disconnect and go on Stand 5. There's not much I could do there. It's a static model on that one. So we'll pop off the network. It'll just free us up, and we'll take the first right here. Otherwise, we'll never get on. Superb. Yeah, that was a great flight. Didn't think we'd get in at one point, but they did an amazing job. You know, with the event, with the limited capacity this airport has. I mean, yeah, we had to hold for 45 minutes, but there's nothing more they could have done. Unfortunately, no Sam here. I've done hardly any clean-up actions here.
Minimums, approaching minimums.
Perfect, and we'll bring it to a stop there. This is actually a freeware airport from the store. The information is in the video description below. Right, parking brake is set. Transponder to out of flight directors. We can pop off at this stage. 6,100. We'll set this to 100 knots. Overhead panel lights are off. Strobes can come off. That's pretty much it. APU's on the generator, so we can now shut the engines down without it losing AC power. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome for the first ever time to Sarajevo. Turn the anti-collision light off as well. There we go. Looking wonderful. Yeah, sorry I popped offline. Oh, I did put the speed brakes away. Oh, pro streamer. There we are. Perfect. No, really enjoyed that flight. You know, the ATC was amazing with the way they dealt with it as well. In hindsight, maybe not the best sector to plan getting my takeaway on a Tuesday. Another sector not today here, but no, really enjoyable. First time in the Flight Factor 757-300. First time using VATSIM Velocity. I was very impressed with it. It looked so much better than the what it was before. So really, really cool to see that, and continue to use on VATSIM in the future will be very, very good. Let's have a look at some of the comments there. Yeah, landing was a bit, that tailwind and high approach speed, and I was a little bit high there. So as I sort of flared, decrabbed, I flared a little bit high. The inputs I'm making are what I'm familiar with in the 7.3, and it's obviously a much lighter control column. But yeah, I sort of got it in there, bit landed, braked very hard as well, so those brakes would be red hot, but then the Ryanair was distracting me all over the place. Unbelievable. So yes, excellent ATC from start to finish. I agree, Daniel Williamson. Joe Lonnie, looking forward to the next flight. Thank you very much. Clean up the burger now. I will do, guys, I will do, but I'm not ending a live stream without doing a few replay of the landings of that, well, terrible landing in that case. But anyway, let's jump back on in here and turn down the music, and we'll get rid of the Fly Live overlay and cue the funky. Oh no, I've lost my iPad. I'll put it down because I couldn't get it with the burger in the way. Where's my music gone? Pro stream. Oh my goodness. There we are. Cue the funky replay music. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Whilst you stare at the overhead panel. Oh my days. Wonderful. 3 hours and 40. Oh my goodness me. Right, let's have a look at this approach. Crank up the volume. It's very quiet on the exterior. So yeah, there's the. So that's strange. You can see. Watching that, looking a bit weird from that angle. I'm trying to think what I was doing. So I think I was looking because came over the threshold. I was right of centre line. I used a little bit of left rudder to get back on towards the centre line, which sort of helped. And then I'm more concentrating not on decrabbing, but getting back in the middle of the runway, which is the important thing. And you can see there that the dynamics in X-Plane are so good. This is why I prefer this simulator. So there's the elevator pitching up with the flare. Look at the rudder. Look how the aircraft moves. So realistic. You can see as I pitch up, the inertia of the aeroplane still keeps it descending. And as it comes into ground effect as well, you can just... Yeah, the way the aircraft behaves and reacts is so good. So good. So yeah, that rudder wasn't really a decrab. It was to get that back on the centre line. I shouldn't have been over there on the right-hand side. And there's a little more of a pitch up, another bit of rudder input. The flight controls are instantaneous with the flight factor, which makes the aircraft handle as I'd expect it to. It's really good. Yeah, not bad. Not a butter, but not bad at all. Amazing. Let's do it from the normal touchdown point. It looks very dramatic from that view. That's the sound on maximum, guys. Usually it'd be deafening you if it was any other add-on. It's just very quiet, the flight factor. So I flared a little bit high. Yeah, the actual landing wasn't that bad at all. It looks so much worse from the cockpit sometimes. Beautiful. Don't tell me it's crashed. Oh no, it hasn't. Thank you for not crashing. Oh, excellent. Well, guys, that's the end of another Flight Deck 7 live stream. I hope you found that enjoyable. Really enjoyable taking the Flight Factor 757-300 pencil for the first time, and as I mentioned already, checking VATSIM Velocity as well. Super cool. All of that stuff is available to download. VATSIM Memo is completely free. The Flight Factor 757 is an aircraft I actually quite like it. I must fly it more on this channel. There's a lot more. It's quite a capable aircraft. I think VNAV and the FMS needs a bit of tidying up, but overall very good. As ever, to everyone that popped in to watch the video, thank you very much. If you'd like it on the way out, that would be really appreciated. If you want to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest content, that's appreciated too. To everyone that donated, thank you very much for your generosity, and to all the members, thank you very much for your continued support. I'm going to go finish my burger now in silence and peace. Take care, guys. I'll see you soon.